7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As the seasons shift and the waters tell their silent stories, we gather once more for an evening of craft, tradition, and deception. Welcome to episode 11 of Thursday Night Live Fly Tying. Tonight, we explore two patterns that pay homage to the intricate dance between predator and prey. First, the Morris Boatman, a stillwater essential mimicking the tiny aquatic acrobat that glides beneath the surface, carrying its own silvery air supply. A fly designed to fool even the most selective of fish. And then, the Mr. Peanut Hopper, a bold terrestrial that lands with a satisfying plop, tempting trout with its irresistible silhouette and undeniable charm. At the Vice, our seasoned guides Dana Lattery and Tim Hepworth will unravel the secrets behind these flies, revealing not just how they are tied, but how they are fished with precision. And as always, we celebrate the community that makes it all possible. So grab your materials, your favorite drink, and prepare for another legendary night of fly tying, storytelling, and camaraderie. Welcome to TNL Season 7, Episode 11.
Bing, bang, boom.
Episode
bong.
11.
Oh, Tiff did your hair today.
I know. She did a good job, actually.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure that.
a little bit of just for men. Just for men.
I said just a hint in it.
Hint. That's not a hint. That's a full-on clue.
Yeah,
That's a clue. The clue is that your hair is straighter than not going there, but straighter than your appearance.
okay.
You did it right up. I don't remember last time I've ever done a neck button up straight to the top.
If you're going to look classy, just go for it, you know?
Yeah, I think when in Rome, don't doubt what you are all about, but pick your favorite trout.
Pick your favorite trout.
Pick your favorite trout. That is a segue like no other. And just like always, this show starts with a little bit of fly toga. And I am your host, Dana Lattery.
And I'm Tim Hepworth.
And we are on Season 7, Episode 11. We were just chatting before the show. Right before the Moonshine Man. The Moonshine Man left. And in case you're not sure who he is,
That's who he is.
that's the Moonshine Man. He shows up with moonshine before each and every episode. And we were just talking that this is 7 years.
It's got to show the moonshine because
That stuff is fantastic. If you ever get a chance to check out that, good Lord.
It's going to keep this over here.
Well, Ken Hall's being a little bit of a dink tonight because he said he's not choosing till I do, so he knows to go with something else.
Hey, to be fair, Ken, he did win a couple
when it
last
mattered.
week.
I won when it mattered.
He won when it mattered.
But what you got to do is gets the fingers warmed up. If you just joined in and you're like, I thought this was a fly tying show, it is. It is so much more. But before you tie your flies, before you get the comments cramming in the box of square up above so we can see them, you got to warm up your fingers.
You gotta. We got some precision work to do later.
Yeah,
so.
because nobody likes a torn phalange.
Phalange.
No, they
Nobody
don't.
likes it.
No, they don't.
None of them.
And we got a couple really fun flies tonight. One of them is the Morris Boatman.
I thought you said we had one fun.
I could say they're fun because I don't have to sit here and battle through them. But if you got UV resin, that's really going to help out. And if you don't, you're going to get so far in your flies tonight, and then you're going to go get some UV resin at the store this week so that you can finish them out. But you can finish. You can go quite far, pretty much the whole way.
Yep.
without your UV resin. But now you're going to learn something really cool about UV resin tonight. And it's the difference between thin, thick,
and thicker
and viscous. We're going to be building a bit of a body on that one. And then after that, we're going to tie the Mr. Peanut Hopper, which is super fun, super quick, simple. And we're going to go bing, bang, boom, back to back on those flies. So the folks who are not here for all the fun stuff, they can just tie their flies and walk away.
Yeah, easy peasy.
But shamefully, they are missing out on the last TNL Fishpond FLYINGO for season 7 because next week we don't have one. And then the final week. Anyways, pick your racer. I'm going with the brook trout because I just don't care.
I'm going Laker. Lake trout.
All right, lake trout and the brook trout, and we're off to the races in 3, 2, 1. Put your guesses in the comments. You win nothing and you lose everything. All right.
That's interesting swimming.
It is a pink. I think it's called wobbly bobbly.
We're neck and neck.
We're neck and neck. We do 4 races, 25 seconds each. So in a total,
come on, Lake.
if you add them all up, that is 1 minute of racing. Brook trout, look at this. Look at this. Dude, he could do it. I could be 4 for 4.
No, remember the one that's
tonight.
behind is going to come ahead. Here I come.
Yeah,
Here I
there's a
come.
Cuddy. There's
no.
so many people. Oh, look at this. He's
Look
out.
at him go. Wow.
Oh.
He got wet.
Oh, there he goes again.
There you
Oh, there he goes again. Oh, just like the fish on the Bow River once hooked.
Look at him go.
They're electric, just like that. That's amazing. All right, we got another race. Race again. We'll keep the winners in because if you love the cutthroat, maybe it wins twice in a row. Maybe it doesn't. The Mighty Bull Trout. Good evening, Mike Ritzko, drinking
What's
a
up, Mike?
spiced rum in Calgary tonight with the brand new wheels. On his
saw
Hyde
it on-
Drippo
on his
trailer.
Drippo.
Looks super sexy.
Yeah,
It
look
does.
good.
Oh, Mr. Ritzko, pick your favorite trout. And I know some of these are char, but
Trevor
they
says,
quite say.
Oh, Dana chose a brookie too. I'm screwed.
Yeah. I'm going to shut this show down, okay? I'm not coming back next Thursday. So Tim will turn on his phone and live stream that
Let's
way.
live stream it. It's going to be up close
Either
and personal.
way, I'm going with a brown trout this time. That's my final
You're
bet.
changing.
I do.
I'm
I do.
sticking-
I just
sticking it
because
out.
a lot of people picked brown trout and I want to screw them over too.
I'm sticking with Lake Trout.
All right, we're going down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're
Let's
off
go.
to the races. 20 seconds left. The brown trout is obviously in the lead because the brook trout's going to win. And never good. When your
don't wanna-
fish
yeah.
takes off like this, guys, it's never good.
Whichever one's out of the screen right
It's
now will
never
win.
good. Howdy from Littleton. Scotty Lorenz just showed up.
Oh, come on.
Come on, bro. Oh, bull
From
trout.
out of
That's
the
bull.
view. That's bull.
Absolutely loser. Oh,
Come
look at
on.
this. Bull trout jumps. Bull trout drops.
Never seen a bull do
Magical.
that.
Did you win the bull trout? Cuddies again. Ken's go to the brookie since I changed. But because it has been so far the cutthroat and the bull trout, maybe if I shuffle the characters, there's a chance that same one could win.
Oh, why do you do this?
All right, I'm going to the brown trout.
Sticking
Brown
it
trout,
out.
round 3. Other than last week, which I think was some sort of magical moment that I won. Maybe there
50-50
was only
odds.
2 runners, but hey, I took Darla's pre-Mexican. All right, put your bets in. Tom Pape won that one. Good for you, Tom. I don't know what that's like outside of cheating. No. I guess 2 racers, 4 races, I win 2 out of 4. I mean, totally
Still like
the
winning,
odds.
winning once.
That's not
yeah,
winning.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with brown trout. Did I go brown trout?
You did.
I can't switch.
Nope,
All
I'm
people will like
I'm sticking it out.
throw it down, count down 1, 2, 3. That's count up. Sorry.
What if I go cut bow? Then do I get double the chances?
You can. I'll be going tiger trout.
True. That's true.
If I chose the tiger trout, well, there goes my brown trout.
It's okay. He's gonna come right back in and win. Come on.
Oh, brook trout. Look at this.
I am not in it today.
Yeah, there it is. Come on, brown trout. You got 3 seconds.
Come on,
Make your
Laker.
dash.
Laker, late
How are
dash.
you not? Did you not win
I haven't
anything
won
yet?
any. Not one.
Oh my goodness, this is sassafras. Even the brook trout jumps high again. And all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go.
Oh,
what?
see ya. Come on, get
Guys,
back in line.
I think we have a glitch here.
Come on.
Oh, Brookie won, and now he's just having a little bit of a dance. I don't know what the brook trout's doing, guys. Maybe you want to vote for him again. Something broke in our system. For $1.99 a month, I think that's what you kind of get. All right, I'm going to go with the brown trout again. High hopes.
Sticking the Laker.
All right, throw your guesses in the numbers here, and going down in 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at the Brookie. Look at him cheating.
What is he doing?
We don't even know. Look at this. Oh,
what a snob. Look at that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, look at me. I can swim with my tail.
Come on, Laker.
Oh,
come on, Laker.
Now Brook Trout wins.
What?
I hope.
There's no
look at this.
way.
Look at this cheating
Look at
stuff.
this.
Look at this.
Oh,
What is this? What is this?
Nose in the air and all. Look at this.
Oh, man. If that didn't say pick me, I don't know what it did.
And we still didn't pick it.
No. That's
Oh,
unbelievable. That right there, folks, goes to show you that this show can be rigged.
Yeah, you've done it many times.
Yeah, look at that. I booted him. Anyways, we're done racing.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with.
That's right,
right.
folks. It is who you share it with, and the TNL fam and us. We've been hanging out here for a couple, 3 months.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, tying
Crazy.
flies, telling lies, drinking beers, and we're just finishing off one of the beers that Aaron and I tried. That is terrible.
It's so...
Yeah,
Everything
We gave
smell-
it rank ratings, but it was in the fridge, so we thought we'd try it out. You know, not try it out, but just with nothing else. But
It's
we
not
do
good.
got a couple beers. We got a couple flies, as you can see right below. We're going to be tying the Morris Boatman to start the party. And Tim will tell you what thread.
Yeah, so for thread for these flies today, we're going to be using some thicker thread on both of them, although the Bowman's a pretty small bug. You'll see why when we get there, but I'm going to use some UTC 140 in olive color. I would say it would be good if you went with something dark, black, olive, something like that, and in a 140 or 3/0, something that's nice and thick. And then for the Mr. Peanut Hopper, I'm going to be using appropriate to the color of the fly. I would go with brown or yellow thread,
Yeah.
and I'm going to use a 140 as well, as we don't want to be cutting the foam, and it's pretty much a foam fly. So, yeah, go with a little bit thicker thread for both of them. You'll be just fine.
And your deer hair stacker will be
Yeah.
a tool that you'll be needing for that fly, and the resin, as we talked about. If you don't have the resin, you can do. You could kind of use some super glue to hold it until you go get resin.
And I will use super glue in that pattern a few times. So definitely.
All right, get your kits unpacked. Let's say hi to some friends here.
Yeah.
Mr. Pape.
Oh, what is it tonight?
Got the liquor cabinet open. Some Midwest Pumpernickel Rye Whiskey.
Tom, I just want like
we
a
are
request.
going to Baltimore to visit that man.
Can you send us a picture of your liquor cabinet? Like I genuinely would like to see that. I have it envisioned in my mind. But I would love to. I'd love to
this
see
giant oak room,
Yeah.
oak panels on the wall.
It's got like
He's
a
just got this
humidor
big,
with cigars in it.
like a 90-inch TV with TNL on.
Yeah.
He's sitting there in his underwear, just maybe not his underwear. That was my image.
Well, keep that image out of your mind.
Tom,
Poor
we
Tom.
appreciate you. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Did anyone else get 7 inches of snow, Josh? We did get some.
So they often say, I've read about it, that 7 inches is more than normal.
Is
more
it?
than average.
Is it more than average amount of snow to get?
Oh, snow.
Yeah.
Well, everything in Banff is a little different.
Yeah.
And,
that was
we
smaller.
didn't get that much snow, but that's good to hear because snow's falling. Building the snowpack. No, Tom, it's not a fantasy.
It was just a dream.
It was just a picture. It was an imagination.
Like the picture that's on the wall over there you forged of him? Mr. Pape in his underwear?
You won't show him that, will you?
No.
I'm
No, I
gonna
won't.
sketch that up. I'm gonna work on that while you're tying some flies. Perry Albert, Lethbridge, Alberta, Windy City of Lethbridge. Sean Watson, what's happening?
What's up, Sean?
Maybe I have to scroll. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Jeff,
Crap.
we gotta do a sound for him.
Yeah. It's just a beatboxing beat.
Trevor McPhee up in Whitecourt, buried in snow, having some Jasper Brewing crisp pills. That's
Nice.
good beer.
That's a good one.
good
I
beer.
like that one, yeah.
Mr. Clayton's drinking the original 16 Canadian Pale Ale, which they
Nice.
sell at the Saddle Dome.
Yeah.
Trevor, I'm going to be coming through your neck of the woods tomorrow on my way to Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
We're going to get a Dana Mama update, that is for sure. Mama's doing great. She's in high spirits. I got to spend the week with her, and yeah, I think there's waves of ups and downs, and what's real and what's painful and what's manageable, and I think that's going to be the journey for a little while, but it was really fun to spend some time just kind of unplugging and hanging out. Yeah. So hopefully
She's been
that's
incredibly
the update for
in good
everybody.
spirits the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly,
blows
like
my mind.
it's crazy
Yeah.
to just kind of see her up and at 'em, and it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Mr. Struthers is drinking a Big Rock Grasshopper. Oh, for the hopper we're gonna tie tonight.
Very good. Good choice.
Makes sense. That definitely makes sense. But without further ado, folks,
Roger, I don't even want to be in my underwear.
oh, I will draw a picture of you later too, Roger. I just wasn't allowed to say that I pictured all of that. All these, we won't have any viewers left. Maybe we'll have more, just a different kind. But as always, guys, after we said hi to you, we have to say hi to one of our favorite friends of the show, Mr. Baldy Bob.
Oh, what's up, Baldy?
I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out what's... Brendan, we're tying the Morse Boatman first.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe that comment just came in late or whatever, but just in case we didn't answer that, now you know. UTC 140. The grays, the blacks. Because your thread will show through. So just be cautious of that. All right, let's check out what Baldy Bob has got going on in his world. What kind of shenanigans he's been up to for you guys this week. And when we come back, we're going to be jumping right into the beer reviews. And then we're going to check out what's Maggie got on the baking cam. You guys are going to get your pre-orders in because they close this Saturday. So if you want your magical blueberry hand pies, which yes, you do is the answer, you're going to get the QR code shortly. And then I'm going to teach you a little bit about this Morse Boatman. And then Tim's going to tie it for you. And then we're going to go back to back on those flies. It's kind of how the show is going to go. And after that, we're going to play some FLYINGO. And then rock and roll. Bob's your uncle. Bob's my uncle.
I do have an Uncle Bob.
Well, maybe Baldy Bob's my uncle.
Be.
All right, folks, listen up. It's me, Baldy Bob, your favorite time of the TNL night. It's what y'all came for. Just put in the comments, say Bob is the great. Bob's great, or that works too. Just let me know. Anyways, I just wanted you to listen up because old Baldy Bob's got a tale for you. And trust me, this one almost ended in tragedy. Seems to be a common thread. But anyways, here we go. So there I was, just minding my own business, sifting through the fly bins, looking for a good hopper pattern when, boom. Yep, I see it. The Mr. Peanut Hopper. Yep, and I think to myself, oh, well, this is it. After all the searching, this is how I go. Because let me tell you, I got a peanut allergy so bad. I once sniffed a Snickers bar and my ears started tingling. Yep, but I figured I ain't one to judge a fly by its name, so I picked it up real careful like. And the second I touched it, I feel it happening. My hands are tingling. Yep, my throat closes up, and my vision starts to get blurry. And I start sweating. And I can feel my face, man. I'm like, hot air balloon. And I yell, "Somebody call a medic! Oh, Bob storage and a phylactic. Oh my God." Now people start panicking, you know, the usual. One guy drops his rod, another guy spits out his coffee, and some fellow comes sprinting over with an EpiPen like he's about to just joust me with it. And just before they stab me in the leg, the shop owner goes, "Bob, there ain't no peanuts in that fly, buddy." And I stop and I blink for a few times, and I check the fly again, and suddenly, I realize I feel fine. No swelling, no itching, just regular old Bob standing in the middle of the fly shop, ruining everybody's morning over nothing. Yep. Turns out my reaction was just in my head. My brain tricked me into puffing up over absolutely nothing. Well, what you come to think of it, it's kind of like all my stories, huh? Oh, but there's always a moral of the story. My stories, at least, folks. And it goes something like this. You don't want to know what's not imaginary? Yeah, the last Fishpond FLYINGO of season 7. That's right, it's tonight. And the prizes are up for grabs. And if you don't have your free FLYINGO card, well, that's worse than a self-inflicted peanut allergy. Head over to the website, www.flyfishingbow.com/TNLS7. And most importantly, let's not forget we're talking about the $10,000 donation giveaway here, people. In a couple short weeks, changing stuff up, making you happy, one prize at a time. So don't be like old Baldy Bob, freaking out over nothing. Go get your FLYINGO card, enter the giveaway, and maybe, just maybe, you'll end up with something real instead of a story about looking like an overstuffed chipmunk. Alright, that's enough wisdom for one day. I gotta go apologize to the guy that I almost made give me an emergency tracheotomy with a ballpoint pen. I'm Bob. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, Bob.
All right.
It's always got a good story to tell.
Supposed to go here.
It's beautiful.
Well, we're there.
John Dana.
We made it.
And sometimes suffer.
Well, we suffered. We suffered
already.
before.
Yeah. Let's not suffer
Before.
now. What do we got up there?
All right. Well, you should know.
I should, but I
Can't
just
remember
want-
which
no.
one this one is. This one? Yes,
Yeah,
I got it right.
you got
I
it,
got it
yeah.
right. Can looks a little different, but it appears to be the same beer. Why don't you tell everyone what you memorized before the show?
Yeah, this is the Apex Predator, Rushing Water. Rushing Water's Bohemian Pilsner, and I love the Pilsners. It's got an ABV of 5% and IBU of 25, so I like that as well. Nice and low. This pairs well with crisp mornings on the river, tying flies with precision, and planning your next fishing trip. Tasting notes, this Czech-style Pilsner boasts a clean malt backbone with floral and spicy hop character. It's light, refreshing, and perfectly balanced, a beer that speaks to both casual drinkers and craft beer lovers alike. Well, that sounds like a whole lot of good right there. And that can I see it? Oh, man.
It's not the same can.
No, but I want to see that can. That can looks awesome.
Look at this. It's the color of the beer, just very much Pilsner. All right, what do we do here? We try a beer. We have no effing clue what we're doing. So don't take our advice. Just take our...
I hope that's going up there.
You're supposed to rhyme with me.
Oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'm looking at the can. What would say? Go ahead. Go again. Go again. I'll get it.
So don't take our advice.
Just add a little spice.
Oh, Timmy, you're so nice.
I know.
Don't tell him twice.
Don't tell me twice.
What's in your vice?
Not rice.
What's in your vice, Tim?
Not rice.
Tim, I got to think of a female name for Tim. All right, let's give it a try, folks.
Thrice.
Folks. Bryce. The female version of Tim is Bryce. You do look like a Bryce.
I do.
Sorry if any Bryces are out there.
Yeah. Sorry, Bryce.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Easy to drink.
It settles down nice after, but there's a
Little.
Gotta.
Yeah.
There's a. It's like this. Me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a little bit of a gagging point. Not terrible
Yeah.
one. Huh. A little snag in the gag.
I won't rhyme anymore.
Come on.
We're gonna have to spit it out into the rag. Beer 30. It's fun, guys, because we don't know what we're talking about. We're just trying beer, and you guys can always come down and check them out. You can always figure out what we're drinking by checking out the description.
Yep. Looking at the picture. That doesn't
If there was a 2.5, I would definitely do that. But, you know, it's...
I think it deserves a 3. Yeah, I'll give it that too.
You give it a 3 too.
It's
We seem to be very...
It's very fine. It's nothing spectacular, but it's
Heard
good.
on high. Where did...
Oh no, you got to just revel in this. You made this happen.
Mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains.
In excelsis Deo. Oh. I think I need some reverb.
Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Can't find it.
Oh, that's a deep hallway we're in.
Choir joyous strains from
I only know the first verse.
What was in that moonshine?
There's beer goggles and beer voices.
Oh,
That's
dear
better. That's
Lord. Are
hard.
you guys still here?
I don't like that.
We're still here,
We're
everyone.
good. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, folks. It is like Christmas if you've ever heard of the $10,000 donation giveaway. 'Cause
Yeah, it's
you
only 2
haven't
weeks away.
seen this scene in a long time.
When's that going to open there, bud?
No. Check out the website
Oh.
tomorrow-ish.
Tomorrow-ish.
Maybe not. Maybe by the end of the show, you can go and get your donation giveaways. How does it work? Well, we're accumulating the prizes right now as we speak.
Yeah,
They can't stop coming in. There's so many.
so many.
And what you got to do, you just got to donate to the show.
Yeah.
You just got to keep the show going, and then you get a chance to win. Last year, I think we had like 35 winners, and there was like no gifts under like $200, $150, $200.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a ton of
Obviously.
prizes.
Yeah.
We're going to, like he said, for every time you enter a donation, it gets you a chance to win. And we literally are using a randomized picker that just pulls names out of a
Yeah,
hat.
you watch it here. We just go
Yeah.
bing bong, and
Boom.
it picks.
Yep.
And people who've made big donations have not won.
Yep.
And people who have made big donations have won. And people who
Multiple
have
times.
made the smallest entry-level donation have also won multiple times because you keep getting your name put back in the hat.
Yep.
The virtual proverbial hat.
Yep.
It's so fun.
It's fun.
So fun.
It's a great way to support the show
Oh, man,
and
fishing trips, like
keep us going next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Fly
Yeah.
rods.
it's just a good way for everybody to come together. And if you're in the area for the final episode, which is in 2 weeks, we're down to 2 episodes after this.
It's crazy.
So good. But it's really important to note that this we will come back to because I'm probably going to get her set up here and you guys can head over and you just start doing your thing. People have strategies. And I've yet to
Sometimes
see
it's
any of
buy
their
one ticket a day and tell
one
the show.
ticket a day. Yep. Whatever they got to do, it's up to them. But here we go. Don't forget one of the most important things that you'll do all year
Oh, man.
is get in.
Get your
on
order in. Actually, I need
the
to scan
blueberry
this.
hand pies. Yeah. So you scan that QR code, folks, if you're in the area, and if you're coming to IF4, you get a pre-order your blueberry hand pies. We ate the apple ones on episode 1, and 100% unbelievably epic. So you're probably gonna want a minimum order 4. Okay, hear me out, 4, because you're gonna have 1 or 2 at the show. At tracks after, like we've showed you in the past, they go really well with. Oh, what are we making here?
Well, those aren't ham pies.
No.
Oh, it looks like little buns.
Oh, it looks like a buns in the.
Are we getting burgers round 2?
Oh, we well have to put them in the dehydrator. Oh,
Oh,
I don't want to give away anymore because that's what's
That's
magical about the
looking-
baking cam. We don't quite know what it is, but
but we're always.
we do know kind of what it is.
Kind of.
And yeah, you get your blueberry hand pies and you pick them up. So 4 was the magic number because, just trust me, I'll tell you about it a little bit later. All right.
Have you had them, the blueberry ham pies?
Not the blueberry, but the apple.
The
We
apple
had
ones,
the day
yeah,
one.
that
Like you
was-
just give me the hand pie. I don't care what. You just don't have to put anything in them.
I know.
Like the crust
The
itself.
crust was
like, oh man, it's gonna be great. And if it's nice out, maybe Scotty will have the fire pits going out at tracks,
Oh, yeah.
and we could sit out there and eat those hand pies like we do. Sit around the campfire and
We
make
do.
those. Oh, I have for March 2022.
Yep.
If you've never been and you were able to get here, then you should come. It's actually a film festival. It's a day of hanging out. It's meeting like-minded people, fishy people. A lot of TNL fam comes down and just comes on over to help make this happen because it's a really fun place to all be together. Oh, let's tie a fly. First, we're going to get sketchy, buggy, and all the good things.
Get buggy with it.
Just blueberry, but trust me, you're going to want, they will have cherry. They will as you follow the markets and you follow Black Steak Bakery. But I want you to do this, guys, because to just get your feet wet.
Just
because
try it.
you just try
give it a
one
try.
and you're done for life. All right, let's check out what Sketchy's got to say about the Morse Boatman.
Let's go.
Dana, we need to talk.
Oh boy. Here we go. What's up, Sketchy?
I did some digging, and by digging, I mean I accidentally typed Boatman into the internet, and I went down a deep, dark rabbit hole.
Well, that sounds dangerous. What did you discover?
Did you know that the backswimmer, a relative of the boatman, is known as a water wasp? Water wasp, Dana? That's terrifying. I'm starting to think that this Morse boatman might be a bit of a trap.
A trap?
Yeah, so you're out there floating your little boatman fly, thinking you're just peacefully imitating a tiny insect rowing through the water. But little did you know, you're actually recreating the movements of an underwater assassin, a stealthy, air-breathing, back-pedaling nightmare.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point, Sketchy. That's why this fly works so well. It mimics the exact erratic movement of a real boatman, and, well, because of that, trout love them.
Do they love them, or are they terrified of them?
Well, maybe a little bit of both. The boatmen and backswimmers are both basically the protein shakes of the trout world. High energy, super nutritious, and a must-eat snack in lakes and rivers everywhere that they exist.
So, let me get this straight. We're tying a fly that mimics an insect with jet propulsion legs, breathes air, and sometimes it eats small fish?
Almost exactly, yep.
I like it, but only if you promise me one thing, Dana.
What's that, Sketchy?
This fly will never, ever come to life. I just don't need this little jet-powered water bug with vendettas chasing me down in my dreams.
Well, no promises there, Sketchy, but we are imitating an actual real bug. So there's that. But hey, maybe next week we'll tie up some backswimmers and we'll really freak you out.
That's it, Dana. I'm out of here.
Bing, bang, boom, bongo. Sketchy's got an imagination almost as big as his Uncle Bob. Baldy Bob, so you heard a little bit about the boatman, the backswimmer. Oftentimes, people get them confused, and I will admit, I am one of those people. So don't fret if you don't know the difference, because I did a little bit of research, and I want to help you guys kind of understand just a little bit about the difference and what they are, and kind of a little bit about this pattern and just kind of how much fun they are to fish. So the Morris Boatman, it was designed by Ken Morris. You might have heard of like the Morris, the Less Mess Morris mouse and some other fly patterns that we've tied from him. He is a renowned fly tyer and innovator known for creating highly effective trout patterns. Inspired by the water boatman, a fascinating aquatic insect, the Morris Boatman was developed to accurately mimic the small but important trout food source, particularly in stillwater environments. And one of our guide buddies, he took Ken down the Bow River a couple years ago and said he probably hasn't guided a more qualified, competent, better, easy to be with person on all of his 20-some years of guiding. So I think that's pretty cool to know. They say never meet your heroes, but that one was one that was highly recommended to meet. So let's talk a little more about this boatman. We're kind of going to go into this idea of... I think I uploaded the wrong one here, guys. It didn't. Oh, there we go. That slide is there. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's last week's. I got that on there. Anyways, exploring the fascinating world of the boatmen and understanding their habitat, their swimming motion. Oh, can they fly? And then who and what are their predators? Something to think about, because obviously fish are a predator that we want to attract by fishing something like this. So what's the difference in the two? Well, the backswimmers, okay, the insect swims upside down, and they're known for a painful sting and their predatory behavior. As Tim will attest as we go a little bit later, as one of our lakes we fish has backswimmers in them. And Tim grabbed one, and, well, water wasps is what Sketchy said. Tim could say it felt just like getting stung by a hornet. The water boatman is a small oval-shaped insect that rows through the water, and it feeds on algae. So kind of a little bit of a difference is one more is eating kind of like flesh and bone, and the other, not quite, but sort of more of that carnivore versus a herbivore. So that might help you find out a little bit about where these different kinds of bugs that are very similar found. The boatmen and the backswimmers, they are the fall. Okay, some of the lakes around here, we all go out there in the late September, kind of October, because they're gathering in large numbers to mate, which in turn creates a trout feeding frenzy. because obviously trout are attracted to these swarms of bugs. And so there's this kind of like iridescent UV that we're going to build on these bugs here. And that's kind of this like air bubble movement. The fact that they kind of breathe air and they get these air bubbles, and that's how they go and transport themselves around the river is super important, because that also attracts the fish to them. So on a lake, if you were fishing for backswimmers, you just kind of look for those rings and you hit a ring and pretty much you'll catch a fish. Which techniques should be used to fish the Morris Boatman? Well, swing and retrieves are definitely very effective. My friend Ken, who's not Ken Morse, but he is Ken Fly Trout, he can attest to that, as we definitely attacked that. And, he lost some big fish that day, and that's fine, because that's just his introductory to boatman fishing. Short, erratic strips. So we talked about the way that they move and they swim in the water. So we kind of got to emulate that. A big way to fish these for us is that we'll fish them behind a streamer. So they could get hit as they move in, and maybe the fish goes after the streamer and then takes the other bug. Or what we'll do, and we'll get fishing downstream in front of the boat, and we just kind of swing them into those more weedy areas or those lakey areas, to which you can have a lot of success. The pause sink method is exactly what I was just talking about in that situation there. Factors contributing to the success of the Morris Boatman. Well, the design innovation, this durability, which is packed full of UV. So if your fly falls apart, I can't help you. But it really shouldn't, because there's more UV on there than there is in a small bottle of UV. So it's going to also be a purpose. The ability to float, the sinking line aspect also helps, because it strips and it goes down and then it comes back up. And this fly has a lot of success in attracting fish, and it's a bit of an anomaly, and people have a hard time fishing it. Just because they're not quite sure, like, do I put it under a bobber? Do I strip it? How do you do that? Well, there's a lot of debate kind of about that, but you can also do both. And where I've had most success is on the backswimmers as a dry fly, and on the boatman as something that trails behind a streamer. And I can fish it kind of those three ways that I just talked about. But play around with this. Play around with it, because it's a really fun technique, and you get hit hard. Okay, that's why Ken broke him off, because he got hit so hard that they just broke him off, and probably other factors. I don't want to embarrass him on the show. But that's all I got for this guy, for the Morris Boatman. The boatman versus the backswimmers, and now we're gonna leave it up to Tim to tell you his story of successfully getting bitten by one. I meant Bryce.
Mr. Bryce. Yeah, it's no joke. I did not know that they bit, and I swooped one up out of the water because they were hatching everywhere, and let me tell you, like right on the end of the finger too, and it just like, and it even left a mark just like a wasp, like just throbbing. Yeah, all I can say is I don't know. Boatmen don't sting though, right? No, they don't. They're herbivores. They're herbivores. So those ones you can grab, but don't grab the backswimmers. Trust me on that one. It is a painful experience, and you don't want to do it. All right, so let's talk about tying this fly. Have a little patience and grace with yourself on this one, guys. It's took a few times to get her to where I actually like this fly. We're gonna use some materials basically to build up the body. It's not just resin. Resin is kind of the final coat that holds it all together and makes it give it that really shiny appearance, which I really like because, like Dana said, it gives it a ton of durability. So the durability factor on this fly is incredible. But we got to get there first, and we got to build up the body and do all these things we're going to do, and then we got to, probably the most frustrating part is putting on the flash. All that green underbody needs to be wrapped up, and it likes to separate and slip down the hook and all these things. But I'm going to show you what I believe the best way is to tie this fly and have success with it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get this one out of the vise. Let's go ahead and grab our next hook. Get that bead placed on your hook. Remember the small pull on the bead goes through the hook point first. And if you're struggling with it, Mr. Ritzko, just go ahead and pinch that barb and you'll be able to get that on there no problem. A little easier than last week. When you put this in your vise, my suggestion is place it so you have a little bit of access down into the bend. Now this isn't a big hook, so this also makes this a little challenging because this isn't like a size 12 or 10, which, you know, backswimmers get really big. Boatmen are a little smaller, but this is size 14, so it's a little smaller. So be patient with yourself as you work through this. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my UTC 140 in this olive. They call it olive tan. This is a good one. It matches pretty well, and you are gonna want a darker colored thread, as if it does show through, you want it to look similar to the pattern and the color. So we're gonna go ahead here. We're gonna start our thread behind the bead. We're gonna work a little bit down until we get a little bit of a dam down on it, working away from the bead all the way down to the top right here. Okay, now this is gonna be my biggest piece of advice. Do your best to keep everything on the flat portion of the hook shank. Don't go around the bend. Inevitably, it's probably gonna happen later on, but if we start by stopping up here, kind of funny, start by stopping, but if you start by stopping up here, that's gonna make later down the road a little easier. So I'm gonna work this thread back forward now. And in your kit, you're gonna see a whole bunch of clumps of this like olive colored chenille. And we've cut it into little strips for you. Now, what this is gonna be used for is to actually build up the body. And we want this body to look wide and flat. So let me find this one I have here that I just tied. So as you can see, the back is quite wide. And how we achieve that on the underside is by using this material to build up each side. So I'm gonna tie a piece on one side, tie a piece on the other side. We're gonna trim it to length. Then we're gonna tie another piece and another piece, trim it to length, and we're gonna do it 3 times in total at different lengths to create the taper of the body that we want. So I'll start off by starting on your side of the hook, so the far side. I'm gonna place this down, get a good gathering wrap, kind of right behind the bead, and I want that material to be right on the edge of the hook. And I'm gonna take a few thread wraps back to try to get it kind of on the edge of the hook. We can always maneuver it around a little bit here in a second, but I'm gonna take this all the way back, and this one I'm gonna stop no further back than the barb. So you wanna be, again, above the bend of the hook. Now trim that off, but don't lose this, because that piece you just trimmed, you can now use on the other side. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the near side of the hook, so I'm gonna bring my thread back forward. I'm gonna put a few more thread wraps down over top of this. Eventually we'll have so many thread wraps on top of all this, but we wanna make sure that it does stay right on the sides, not the top. So if I turn this to you, you can see I'm getting some width already on this side. Now I'm gonna do the same thing over here, kind of right up behind the bead. And I want this piece again to stay right on the near side of the hook shank as I go back. And I'm gonna trim it off at the exact same place. Now, each time I get one done on each side, I'm gonna kind of come in with my thumb, press on top, and make sure that it got the flat portion on top. And then I'm just gonna start laying thread wraps down. We're just literally building bulk, and that's why we're using thicker thread here, is because we do want to build up a big, thick body, flat body. And this time, we're not gonna have the pieces get any longer than this, so when I'm at this one, I do wanna try to bind down right at the top of the hook bend and make sure I get all that little fuzz trapped. Then I'm gonna come back up to the bead. I'm gonna leave my thread just a little ways behind the bead, not much, like a couple millimeters. I'm gonna grab another piece here. Okay, this time I'm gonna tie it in. I'll start on your side again. Tie it in virtually in the exact same place, okay? I'm gonna start taking some thread wraps back. This time though, I'm gonna stop short. I'm gonna stop somewhere around the hook point, okay? And I'm gonna trim that out. So what you're gonna see is we're gonna start building a taper into this fly. So this time I didn't take it as far. I only took it back to about the hook point where I left my thread. Now I'm gonna put some thread wraps over it. Back up behind the bead. Now that piece I just threw away, I shouldn't have, I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Tie it in just behind the bead. And And I'm going to work it back to the exact same position. So I'm going to cut this one off right around the hook point again. And then we're going to do this one more time, and it's going to be even shorter. So before I do anything else, I want to put a bunch of thread wraps down, try to encompass all that stuff I just laid down. And then I want to, again, with my thumb, come in, make sure I got it nice and flat on top. So now you can see we've really got some width going here. Okay, see it, top and bottom. That's good. Now I'm going to come back up to just behind the bead again. We're going to add one more piece. Shift that up. Now this piece is going to be even shorter than the last one. Okay, so we're trying to create this taper of a thick head. It's kind of thinning out at the body when it gets flat. It goes flat and then thinner. I'll start this one again on your side. And this time I'm only going to take it back a little ways. Shy of the hook point this time. You can see where the thread is hanging. And I'll get a few thread wraps down on that. We'll really work at getting all the thread down after this one. I'll do the same thing on the near side of the hook. Now one thing you're going to want to make sure is that that thread doesn't want to come slipping off the front of the bead, because we've taken that space behind the bead and we're utilizing it right now. So you got to be careful that doesn't slip off. Trim that one out. And now I'm going to lay a whole bunch of thread wraps down. I'm going to try to smooth out the taper. You can see it's quite abrupt there. So I'm going to just cover up all that fuzz. Now something I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab my super glue. I'm going to put just a little dab right on top. And what this is going to help do is keep all those thread from wanting to slide away from each other. So you can see I just put a little coat on top. Now I'm just going to continue to throw thread wraps on top of it. Really securing everything. Being careful, but going down to the edge of that bend. Trying to smooth out that taper, because the taper right back here is where the issue is going to be, because you don't want it to be abrupt. You can see it is still a little bit on the one side, because that's where the materials that we put in next are going to slip over. But by that, having that super glue on there, it keeps my thread from wanting to slide away. Tighten this vise a little bit, from trying to slip away from everything. Okay, pretty happy with where that is right now. So the next material we're going to go to is going to be a mallard flank feather, which you have in there. Now you can realistically get a whole bunch of flies out of one feather. So what I've done here, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to isolate a portion of the tip. Now if for your next fly, all you need to do is grab a clump of the side feathers and peel them off, and that's what you can use. But I'm going to isolate the tip at this point, because this is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to leave a little bit more down. So what I'm actually going to do, instead of stripping it all off, is I'm just going to trim it out. This is just if I had like a whole bunch of these feathers, I would just use one for each and not worry about it. But this is how you're going to utilize more material. Now, when I come to tie this in, I'm going to pull just a few of these off the stem, because I know that's going to be too much. But you can see there's a curve to the feather, and these are the tips, as you can see right there. Now, what I want to do is I want to slide my fingers down this until I gather this into a point, like that. Okay, now I'm going to tie in this point. And I want the curve to still naturally be up, so imagining that the tips are curving, even though I'm holding them down. And I'm going to tie this in kind of midway back, right up on top. And hopefully your super glue hasn't totally dried yet, because it's actually going to help secure that in. And I got to take that back just to the edge of that bend and really try not to take it over. And hopefully that super glue is holding. And if at any point, if you feel like stuff is slipping back over, like I could feel a little bit there, I'm just going to put a slight dab of super glue. The super glue is going to save your butt.
Hold tight. Well, you super glue the Dap Gap. Scooter's asking about millimeters and the metric system. So as we discussed that and the correlation between millimeters and inches, roughly 26 millimeters is 1 inch. So 1 millimeter would be 26 of an inch. So I guess you can kind of relate to it that way. The metric system is very easy because it's based off of like 10, 100. It's kind of one of the easiest systems in the world. Why everybody doesn't use it, I don't know. I mean, up here we go by feet We go by pounds. We don't, I mean, I don't even know what a kilo is. I don't even know what a meter is. I know it's like 3 feet, but
2.6 pounds. 1.6 pounds.
no, 2.2.
0.2?
I don't know. See, we don't know. But anyways, a millimeter is about a 26 of an inch. 26 millimeters is just a touch over an inch. Scooter, hopefully that helps you figure out
What you talking about?
what you need.
Yeah. Okay, so what comes next? Well, these little buggers have legs. So we're going to stick in the legs. And you're going to see in your kit, you have basically one piece of this isn't a rubber leg. It's actually a floss material. They call it a floss, even though it's not like what you floss your teeth with.
Sexy floss.
Sexy floss. We're going to cut off about an inch. Some millimeters. I don't know what they are. We're going to cut off a piece, a couple of
26
lengths
millimeters.
worth. And we'll tie this in. Now, I am really not picky about how these legs are going to orient right now because it's all going to change as we put in the next materials. As well as it doesn't really matter because if this thing's being stripped or nimped, those legs are going to always be kind of angled back because of the way everything's pulling against it. Now, where I'm going to tie them in, yo,
Durfee. In and out. So just give him a shout.
what's up, Gary? Thanks for tuning in for a little bit. Watching Quick Ties this weekend. All right. Before I actually tie this in, so I do like it to be towards the front of the fly more than in the middle of the fly, but there isn't a right or wrong answer, but it isn't going to be right behind the bead. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to find a spot I'm comfortable with. The reality is these bugs actually have 2 sets of legs, although most patterns only tie in one. A couple of them are like swimming scoopers and the other ones are like stabilizers. So there are 2 sets that are mid-body anyway, so it's not a big deal. What I'm going to do before I tie my legs though, I am going to go back to my super glue, put just a tiny dot right where I want to put them on. It's just going to help keep them in place as I tie them in, because I do need to tie them in a little different than we tie in most rubber legs, and that I'm just going to do some cross wraps that's hopefully going to hold them in place. So I'm going to cross in one direction, cross over in the other.
Damn it!
So late.
That's what makes you beautiful.
One direction, baby. So I'm just going to continue to do a few cross wraps.
I'm never late. I'm always just on time.
Not what I hear. Not what I hear. So I've just done a handful of cross wraps. You can see that X pattern with my thread. That's what's holding those in place, keeping them kind of snug and back. Now what I do like to do right here is I'm going to come in here with my, pass me my light over there, Dane.
Oh, it's charging.
It's got any charge on it. I'm going to use just a little bit of my thin UV resin, and I'm just going to put a dab of it right on top, just a very light. I'm using the bone dry, so you know I love this stuff. Just a very thin little bit right where those legs went in, and then I'm actually going to pull them down and back a bit. I know I'm kind of covering this up, but I'll show you once it's done. And that's just going to help orient them a little bit as I put in my next material. So this is basically how they're going to look, okay? Just a little trick. Now comes the fun part. We have to tie in our flash. So in your kit, you've got thin green flash. And what I want you to do is I want you to grab 3 or 4 pieces, okay? It's up to you, of the full length, because you're going to need it. You're going to be lots of wrapping with it. I want you to line up the tips. So I'm just taking little pieces here, and I'm going to continue lining up all the pieces that I have. I want all the tips aligned, or roughly aligned before I start. I am going to go ahead with 4 here, so I'm going to come in with 1 more. Doesn't really matter, 3, 4, even 2 would be probably fine, but you get a little better coverage with a little bit more. And if the tips aren't perfect, just trim them so they are. Like mine aren't perfect, so I'm just going to come in here and trim them just a little bit. Now, this is where I'm going to go back to my super glue right away. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to place just a little, again, light coating, and this is for 2 reasons. This flash is going to want to slip back and down the whole time, as well as I'm wrapping it up, it's going to already be sticking in, and as I tie it in, it's going to want to be already sticking in, which, just trust me on this one, this is a big game changer to tie in this fly. So I'm going to bring my thread back to just behind the legs or somewhere right in the middle. That's where I'm going to tie it in. But because you do have super glue down, you got to be careful with the rest of this because anything you touch, it's going to stick. So be careful where you touch the flash to and where you touch your thread to and your fingers. I've got that tied in there now. I'm going to work my thread forward. I'm going to leave my flash back there for a moment. I'm going to toss a half hitch or do a little whip finish on the front of this fly. And then I'm going to set my bobbin aside so I can use my fingers to do all the work in the wrapping here. So I've got that out of the way. Now I'm going to go to my flash. First couple wraps are pretty important. You want to pull even tension so that the flash stays together the best that you can. It will move around on you. Don't stress about it. And I'm just going to do continual wraps till I feel like I have coverage in each spot. And then I want to start moving my way forward up the fly, and hopefully you've got that super glue on there so it's not trying to slide away from you. And you're just going to work your flash forward all the way up to behind the legs. If you're doing okay here, guys, you're like almost there. This is the hard part. I'm going to get one right behind the legs, and I'm actually going to do the same cross wraps I did to tie in the legs. I'm going to do them with the flash. So I'm going to do some X wraps over the legs to make sure I'm getting good coverage. You can always tip it upside down and make sure you've got the coverage that you need. And if you feel like you're missing a spot, just go back over it. It doesn't matter. It's just the flash. And then once I get back here, I'm going to come in front. And this is where you got to be kind of careful that the flash doesn't slip off the front of the bead. I feel like I've got good coverage everywhere now. So I'm going to grab my thread, bring it back here. And really important that I get this tied off, because if you don't get this flash tied off properly, everything you just did is going to fall apart, and that would be a real bummer. So don't worry about showing some thread wraps here. You want to get some thread wraps locked down so that flash isn't going to move. I'm going to tip this up just a bit to aid so that that doesn't want to slip off. I'm going to come in here and trim out my flash, set it aside for the next fly. And right here, before I pull my mallard flank forward, I'm going to put just a tiny dab of UV just to cure that thread so it doesn't slip over the front. We got lots of UV coming still, but I'm just going to put a little bit down. The reason I'm not putting super glue down right here is because when I pull that mallard flank forward, I don't want that mallard flank to get stuck and I can't pull it tight. All right, so we're almost there, guys. We got pull over one more material and then we're going to get to resin in the crap out of this thing. So now I'm going to grab my mallard flank and I'm going to bend it forward and pull it tight and do the best you can to kind of spread it out on top. So I'll turn this to you so you can see. You want to get as much of that beautiful barred mallard flank on the back as possible with a little green shining through on either side. And then I'm going to lock that down so it can't go anywhere. Is the thought here. Get my thread to cooperate. Got to get that thread back away from the bead, up on top. And this is where I'm keeping my fingers here so that thread can't slip down and over. And once I get that locked in, before I do anything else, I'm going to come in here with just a little bit of my thin UV again on those thread wraps and back a little bit onto the mallard flank, just a touch. And this is just simply to hold those threads from going anywhere, because they're going to want to slip down over the eye of the hook, which is, we really don't want that to happen. So now that I've got this here, I'm going to, before I even trim anything out, I'm going to put a little bit more resin on the underside of the wraps that I put for the head so that they don't slip down either. And then I can just trim out the thread. I don't even need to tie a knot because I'm resining it down heavily. So just putting a little bit there. And now this is where the resin part, guys, is just going to keep getting a little more complicated. We're going to do a lot more resin work here. But now that I've got that locked in, I know that that can't go anywhere. I'm going to trim out my thread. Nice and close. And then I'm going to trim out the tip of that mallard flank. As close as you can. That's good. Now I get a little picky about this. I like to come in with my cautery tool and try to get that nice and close. And then from here, the first thing I'm gonna do before I go to my thicker resin is I like to lay down. I'll show you what this looks like. So you can see that nice spread, nice wide body. I like that. I'm gonna do just a thin coat of my bone dry, kind of over top of most of this stuff here, the mallard flank. You don't wanna get any onto the legs anywhere. You wanna, like, it's okay if it's at the base of the legs, but you don't wanna get it down the legs at all. I'm just gonna do a little bit of work there, hit that with my UV, cure it. And from this point moving forward, I'm gonna do just one little light brush on the bottom. And then it's up to you and it's your own adventure, what you wanna do as far as the resin work is concerned. Because you could do more, you could do less. The pattern does kind of call for a thicker resin, but if this is all you've got and you wanna put a few coats of this thin stuff off, are on. This doesn't look bad as is, but I'm gonna add a little bit more with the thicker resin. So you could go even thicker than this. This is called the thin hard. I have this little applicator on this bottle. So I'm gonna start up here on the top and I'm gonna basically put, like, less is more for sure. So I'm gonna put a dab out of the bottle and then I'm just gonna use this. You could use a bodkin in the same fashion to just spread it out and around. I'm gonna add a little more. Really just kind of rounding out everything, taking out any of the bumps. I might come in and cure that. And then I'm gonna go to the bottom and do the sides at the same time. Now this is a heavy Resina
That's
type
why
fly.
she's permanently. She's been dancing. She's on a. Oh, business Resina's out now. For the Deck the Halls Christmas song that rolled into my playlist.
You're crushing the Christmas tonight.
Yeah, well, when in Rome.
I'm gonna cure the bottom here.
No one can even see until she moves.
Busy dancing.
She ain't moving. Oh, it's so
And then I'm
good.
gonna go to the side. I just like to do a little bit more. And if you've ever seen one of these in the water, they are such a beefy little bug for what they are. They seem like they're about as wide as they are long.
Yeah.
Very thick little bug. But don't feel like you're overdoing it necessarily with the resin if you feel like it's building up to this big ball. Because we did all the work to create the shape, and now we can just kind of touch it all with a little bit of resin. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the side.
As you keep building bulk there, Dan was wondering about where the mallard, what parts of a mallard. Well, the flank is underneath of the wing. It's a nice, beautiful barred feather under there that you should keep because it's used a lot in tying flies because of all you can see. What beautiful things it does.
There's a lot of beautiful things. Almost there. All right. So now, like, it's hard to see against my nice floral shirt here. But you get a beautiful glow. You've got that beautiful, like, broad back and belly. You got that mallard flank to show through really nice. Now, the last thing we have to do here is trim our legs, and we're going to be off to the races. So I like to trim them just a little longer than the back of the body. So I'm going to kind of gauge that on just one side first. And I'll check it a little shorter. They kind of have longer legs than they seem like they should for their body. And once I trim one to length, I'll just match the other one. That looks about right. I'll just check them in length. Perfect. And there you have it, guys. The Morris Boatman. Yeah. That is the first time I saw this fly, I'm like, gosh, how did they make that look so good?
Mind
But
blown.
it's like-
You were mind blown, right?
Yeah, it was. And it's just like that. You can use some very simple materials to create something that looks so fancy and pretty and
A ball of resin.
ball of
as
resin.
Cam calls it.
just like that. There you have it, guys. Your Morris
Hot
Boatman.
darn, that is great. And yeah, like Tim said, you shape it how you wish, how you feel that would look the best. That's what's fun when you get into it. It's gone.
She gone.
Stuck in the side of his nutty.
It's somewhere. There we go.
Just a little bulky torpedo, that guy.
Yep.
He skipped leg days.
He did that.
He didn't like leg days.
Nope.
No,
Not
he
one.
didn't. That's great. That's a great fly. That's fly 1 of 2. And with that, that leaves us 5 flies left for this season. From
Crazy.
26 down to 5.
26 down to 5.
Things
Man.
go quick when you're having fun, folks. And because we're in a roll and your vice is hot darn.
Let's get to the next one.
Let's go to beer 30. But first, we just want to thank our awesome sponsors for helping make this happen. So grab a beer, take a bathroom break, whatever you got to do. We got lots of fun things coming up, so don't leave without us.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with.
Bing, bang, boom. Tim, give me this one.
One of these.
Somebody screenshot this.
Are they done?
I don't know. I don't know if they listen. Either which way, sometimes it's fun. Just because, you know,
Well, when you look
it's fun.
this
We're
good,
fun.
you're-
We're having
yeah.
fun. That's what it's all about.
Now we just got to find our tuxedos to match our dress
I
shirts.
know. I love your wig.
It's just really
It's just great. You gotta wear it guiding. I gotta wear this guiding one day.
I did dye my hair this color once. I looked very pale.
I did have hair like this. I did have hair once.
Like that? I don't
Bryce. Bryce, you're great. Where's the beer views? We got one more beer to try out here, folks. So let's head over to the.
Beer party! Join Dana and Tim as they sip, savor, and sometimes
Time
suffer.
suffer.
Craft beer adventures.
Craft beer adventures. That's
Bing,
true.
bong, boom. Let's take these off. Let's take off this great things like that. And just in case you didn't memorize what our second beer was, well, I put it on the screen to help you out. To
Perfect.
carry on.
Well, this is Imagination Drifting
excited for
Hibiscus
this one.
Ginger Saison.
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 Like session. Saison.
Irrational Brewing Company from Calgary, an ABV of 6%, IBU of 20. We like that. Pairs well with bold fly designs, tying up something creative and rethinking everything you thought you knew about beer. A beautifully complex farmhouse ale infused with hibiscus and ginger, floral, spicy, and slightly tart. This beer dances on the palate with layers of fruity esters and dry, refreshing finish.
So why I chose this one is because I had a hibiscus beer when we were fishing for sailfish down in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And I've yet to find one since. And I felt like that was one of my most favorite beers I ever had.
Ooh.
Now, it could have been the time, the place, the journey, the memories, the dreams were made from that hibiscus beer. And so I'm hoping to take myself back.
In one
Well, Irrational Brewing Company, I hope you are a winner.
Let's find out. It's not bad. It's very light, very fruity. What do you think? Did it take you right back?
Well, come to think of it, the company on that trip was about as good as I remember this beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember the company.
Is this a Christmas song again?
What are you
guys,
on here?
I
This
don't
is
know.
crazy.
It doesn't matter. I'm the DJ. You're just my audience. Stay with us. I don't know, man.
Not what you were hoping for, I can tell. 2? Wow, okay. I'd give it a 3.
2.5 if I
Give it a
could.
3.
Love Christmas music. It's that time. It makes me feel good. It's snowing outside. We got 7 inches in Banff, and I'm drinking a
Average 7
reddish,
inches.
an average beer.
It looks better than it tastes. I don't think there's anything bad about it. There's no like bad flavors or hard things to get through. It's just bland.
It's that dry, the
Yeah.
dryness.
Yeah, the esters, the fruity esters, the dry.
Dry ester.
She was a nun.
So gay, Bryce.
Hey,
Oh, where did I get the music? Well, this website. Probably gonna get shut down from it.
we'll get shut down and copyrighted for not even good music. Well, that was
I
mildly
want to love it.
disappointing.
I want to love it, but I can't. But what we can love is, well,
Ooh, what's coming up? Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh man, this looks very. Oh, what is she?
Black Stag Banger.
Oh, that looks creamy.
Well, the comments are gonna go rogue with that
yep.
view. And as always,
little left over.
I forgot to add to the final photo of what's going on because we're gonna tie this last fly, and then we're gonna actually, I'll bring that photo in near the end.
Okay.
Not near the end, but near the end of when we're ready. But hey, guys, check it out. If you're coming to IF4, pre-orders close on Saturday. Okay, so scan that QR, Tim,
Yep,
and
I
everyone
got it.
else, and make sure you order your blueberry hand pies. I know this is just gonna probably kill me if I said this, but if you did order a dozen, I'm sure you could freeze them for a little bit.
Oh, she's gonna hate you. I mean, the thing is, maybe
Well, I'm
is
just saying, like,
she's
the problem
a
is
perfectionist.
Yeah,
and that's awesome.
and the
but,
problem
like,
is you would order a dozen and they wouldn't last.
no, someone would eat them.
We would have a pie eating contest at Trax Pub.
Oh yeah.
Wait till I get up on the stage, because sometimes they let me DJ at Trax Pub with real music. So maybe we'll see that. I don't know. I don't know what
yeah.
kind of beers might pair well with the blueberry hand pies. But scan the QR code. Please make sure you don't miss the date of Saturday. She needs time to get these orders together.
Look at Aaron. He's just been sneaking in there, not
Yeah.
saying much.
Yeah,
Bro,
he texted me.
one of our fantastic guides, Aaron Nolan, everybody.
and Fly Tire.
Round of
and
clicks.
Substitute
Yeah, you know who he
teacher.
is. He's from the bullpen.
It doesn't work. Let's see what he had to say.
Send us our
He
picture.
screenshotted it.
I know,
Yes,
I
he
saw it.
did. It's a good guy. I bet you more of you guys did that. Huh.
All right.
Kind of like the music, but
You're the only one.
well, we're going to have to head over to the Mr. Peanut Hopper. We're going to have to get checked in with Sketchy, and I'll do a little bit of... We've done so many getting buggies with hoppers, so I don't really have a lot to say, but Sketchy does.
Dana, This one's got me stumped.
Oh boy, Sketch, what now?
Mr. Peanut Hopper. Mr. Peanut Hopper. Dana, does this fly eat peanuts? Do trout eat peanuts? Is this some kind of secret peanut-based trout-feeding conspiracy?
Sketchy, nope. This fly's got nothing to do with peanuts. At least not in the way that you're thinking.
Okay, good to know, because I was about to go on a deep dive into trout allergies, and let me tell you, it's a surprisingly unexplored topic.
I bet it is, but the name actually comes from the shape of the foam body. It's shaped like the famous Mr. Peanut. You know, the mascot, the fancy monocle-wearing peanut guy.
Oh, I know Mr. Peanut. You know, the top hat, the cane, kind of a suspicious level of confidence for a legume.
That's the one, Sketch. And this fly, with its foam body and long knotted legs, kind of has the same vibe. Tall, skinny, and a little dapper. And, well, irresistible to trout.
Okay, but I still have a few concerns there, Dina.
Hit me, Sketch.
First, if this is a Mr. Peanut, does that mean there's a Mrs. Peanut? And if so, is she out for revenge?
I don't think so, but now I'm kind of worried.
And secondly, how does a peanut become a grasshopper? Did he wish upon a shooting star, make a deal with the wizard afar, or did he anger the wrong entomologist?
No magic here, Sketch, just a really effective hopper pattern that sits high in the water, has great leg movement, and gets crushed by hungry fish.
Okay, I can live with that.
Glad to hear.
But Dana, I'm keeping my eyes out for Miss Peanut, just in case. You never know.
All right. Sketchy always bringing in the great. He's kind of sketchy. Like, he's always freaking out about stuff. Yeah, Mr. Peanut Hopper. It is just what it is. We talked about kind of where it came from. Where it was named after, and a little bit of history about this is that the Mr. Peanut Hopper is a modern foam hopper pattern that was developed to be ultra buoyant with the double layers of foam and the deer hair, elk hair, whatever you're deciding to use. Why the name? Well, there's no official story behind the name, but some theories suggest that it could be a nod to the peanut-shaped body created by stacking foam layers inspired by Mr. Peanut, the planter's mascot. Although the fly itself doesn't resemble a peanut, it sort of resembles the mascot. So that's kind of why I ran with that, because I thought, hey, let's just go with it until I am told different. And again, we have another last week's slide that got in there. I don't know how, but there it is. Factors contributing to Mr. Peanut Hopper's effectiveness. Well, it's durable, it's buoyant, and the purpose of it was to mimic a grasshopper. Guys, we've talked about this way too often, so you guys are already professionals in the entire hopper life cycle. But something like this goes, well, when do I know how to, where to fish a hopper? Let's do the 1, 2, 3, 4 method. Wind and grass conditions. Is there lots of grass? Do you hear the hoppers? And is it windy? Well, guess what? That means that they will fall in the water and they will struggle because we talked about their back legs. And the only way that they can move is by pushing off on things. And when they're in the water, not much to push off, and then trout feed on them. So go the 1, 2, 3, 4 hopper method, which goes a little something just like I explained to you there. Not rocket science, but kind of it is science. What is the life cycle of the hopper? We've talked about this before. It is that they go in stages where they don't have wings, and then they grow their wings. And that's kind of in that late August kind of idea. But I also challenge everybody out here to answer the question about cicadas. Because if that hatch is, 13 to 17-ish years, somewhere in there, I don't know exactly. think about the life, the age of most trout. Now, people say, well, you can't fish hoppers because it's June, right? Why would you fish cicadas? I mean, think about it. In theory, that trout who's 6 to 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years maximum has never seen a cicada hatch in its entire life. So maybe we're learning that trout are a touch opportunistic. So do you need to do the 1, 2, 3, 4 method to absolutely dial in success? No, the only way you truly know is if you fish it. And if you understand water temperatures, maybe you can throw a little dropper under there because you know that some of your fish are in the shallow riffles because the water's a little warm and it's a little colder and it's a little oxygenated. And maybe because they're opportunistic, they just look up and eat it and it looks nothing like a hopper. It's just opportunistic, right? So let's not get pigeonholed into all of this data and this information that I'm teaching you guys each and every week, because there's so many rules that aren't rules. They're just ideas and they're all meant to be broken. And if they do break them, or you do find something that goes against what I say, tell me, because I want to learn more. And all of these, like I said, they're just kind of guidelines. They're not rules. Now, in theory, there's a couple, 3 ways to fish a hopper: a dead drift, a skate and a twitch, or the hopper dropper rig. And now I would beg to differ, and I would say,
Sunken hopper.
I was just about to say this.
Were you?
Yeah. I finally entered a segment of the show where I could look intelligent.
You always talk to me.
Anyways.
Give me a mic.
You do. Your swing mic.
I'm back. No, I'm not.
Okay. What I was just about to say is, contrary to popular opinion, there is a 4th method, and you can add a little bit of split shot above your hopper, which will sink your hopper, and it will be a drowned hopper. So great minds think alike. Some just take a little longer to unfold the presentation properly. But anyways, that's Tim and Dana's getting buggy with it. I don't really have a lot left to say, but it's the Mr. Peanut Hopper. It's big brown trout. It's eager cutthroat trout, and it's grassy riverbanks. But doesn't always need to be grassy riverbanks. Remember, I said these are just guidelines, and if you consider them rules, they're meant to be broken. So add some split shot above your ultra buoyant, floatable, unsinkable hopper, and see what happens. I was just about hit finish, which would have ended the show, and that's not what I meant. I love you guys. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me. Now here's Tim back, because he's itching for the spotlight.
I make one comment in his little world over there, and it's oh well.
It's great. It's good.
I was like, I don't want him to miss out on this. There's only 3.
And
Oh wait, there's more.
I hear you.
Anyways,
I heard you enough.
This is good. Let's get on to the peanut hopper.
The peanut hopper.
The peanut hopper.
Tie a fly.
We're gonna tie a fly. So this little guy, you know what? I think this is maybe one of the only patterns that kind of looks maybe a little complicated, because it's like cool, but it's so simple and it's awesome. We've kind of done a lot of the work for you. We've got your foam already melded together. All these fun things. You got 2 different options of colors here. You can either go yellow up or yellow down, or brown up or brown down.
Do both. Let us see it.
Yeah, show it. Tie it both ways. I'm gonna tie it for you in this brown color. I just like the way it looks. We definitely go with the yellow down and see how that goes too.
So many good people sending me the photo. That's
really?
great. Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
And Terry Souther just checked in.
What's up, Terry?
Back from Mexico.
Is he back yet? I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
Hola, amigos. So no. Okay, well, let's get to this fly. This is a nice, quick one. Pretty easy. We'll hop that one out of the vise. And we'll come get our next hook placed in here. Somewhat level. For this thread tonight, I am going to use some UTC 140 in yellow, just to kind of match the colors of the fly. But It looks like it's looking a little thin, so maybe I'm gonna run out halfway through this. If so, I'll make a change. I'm gonna start this just behind the eye. We're gonna work a nice layer back, and this is important on this one because we aren't putting any dubbing down. We're not putting anything else on the hook shank itself, so the hook would be seen if we didn't cover it up with thread. So let's make a nice thread layer. We're gonna go all the way back to the bend, and then we're gonna turn around and come all the way back up, and we'll go back to the back one more time after this. But let's just move this forward, just trying to cover up that shiny hook and lay down some kind of underbody with our thread. We've got a pretty good base laying down here now. We'll kind of do a little wider wraps going back. Now we've only got 3 materials in this whole fly, guys. It's gonna be some foam, some legs, and some deer hair, or elk hair, whichever you have. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that strip of foam I was talking about. Okay. Now we're gonna come to one end of it, and what we're gonna do is we are going to cut an angle cut into it. It's not gonna be to a point. I want it to be blunt, so I'm not gonna cut all the way into the middle. I'll flip it and try to match these up the best you can as far as the angle and depth of your cut. That looks reasonably close. I can go a little deeper on this side, like so. And that's gonna be the back end of the fly. And because I'm gonna be tying this in the brown version, I'm gonna be going brown down. Okay, if you wanna switch it over and you wanna do yellow down, you do you. Doesn't really matter, you got 2 options with this foam. Maybe do half and half. So when I'm measuring this, where my cut end, or where my cut edge ended, so this little cut right here, okay? If I flip it to you, you can see it. I wanna match that up with the bend, the back of the bend of the hook. That's how far back it's gonna be. So this isn't meant to hang super far off the back, somewhere roughly in there. Now we're gonna make 4 segments. The first segment's gonna be formed right now with this back portion. So I'm gonna take my thread up and over, lay it down on top of the foam. I'm gonna pull a little bit of tension, but not too much. Second one's gonna be more tension. Last one's gonna be full tight. And I'm pinching on the foam to pull down, so that's what it's gonna look like. But I hold when I pull so that it doesn't rotate around. Now that's the downside of not putting anything on the hook shank, is it does want to rotate around the hook often, so we got to be careful. So from here, I'm going to lift up the foam, take my thread forward, and this time I'm going to make my next segment right around the point of the hook where my thread is, okay? Remember, I need 4 full segments and space behind the eye. And if I can, I want those segments to grow in size as I move forward. So, like before, first wrap, a little bit tight, second one, more tight, last one, full tight, okay? Now, the key to this is understanding how hard you pull, because you don't want to actually tear the foam, which can happen. That's why we're using a thicker thread, not a thinner one. Thin threads can often cut the foam quite easily. I'm gonna lift this up, take this forward a few wraps, do my next segment, and I'm gonna have one more segment to build after this and still have some space. So actually I'm gonna take that forward one more wrap. There we go. Bring this up and over. Again, first one, second one tighter, third one full tight. Okay, so now you can see my segments have grown a little bit. And now I've got one more segment to do, and I wanna leave some space behind the eye. I wanna leave like roughly 2 to 3 eye lengths back from the eye is what I'm gonna leave. So from here, do my last segment, which should be my biggest one if you are trying to taper them in size. 1, 2, full tight. I add a couple more into this one just because it's my last one and my tie-in point. And now I see this, I got this nice kind of cascading, growing segments moving forward into where I'm now gonna basically tie in the rest of my materials, and then I'm gonna be folding this over, creating the head. It's gonna be nice and simple. But I do know that because of tying this a few times, if I fold this over, roughly, I'm gonna be cutting it off, you know, midway back down the body, somewhere in here. So I'm just gonna cut this off so I don't have to work around it and leave myself a little bit of extra. Okay? Now, from here, we're gonna tie in our second material, which is gonna be our deer hair. Okay? Now, one thing that can happen is this stuff can try to move on you when you're adding these materials, so it's not a bad time to flip it upside down, make sure it's right on top of the hook, and I'm just gonna take my Zap-A-Gap or super glue or whatever resin you wanna use. Super glue is probably best for this. I'm just gonna make some dabs on those back 3 tie-in points. Okay, I'm not gonna touch that top one because I still have to put some materials there, but that'll help that from wanting to spin, and it gives it some time to dry. Now from here, I'm gonna go ahead over to my deer hair or your elk hair, okay? Now we wanna grab a clump that's roughly a pencil thickness, which is really a very general term, but you're gonna get good at kind of eyeing it. This basically means if I pinch it together, it's roughly gonna be that. I always take a little bit more than I need because when I pull out the fluff from underneath, you're gonna wanna use the full length, cut right up next to the fur. When I comb this out and pull some stuff out of it, I'm gonna lose some hair. So I like to grab a little more than I might need. So then I'm gonna grab the tips like so, and I'm gonna pull out any of that under fur. And if you've got a comb hanging out, which I know I got one here, right here, or a brush, combs are probably the best, but you can comb out any of that under fur, the fluff. It's not even really for the hair, but it's for the fluff that sits in between the hair. We're gonna try to comb that out. Now I'm gonna carefully take those tips and put them into my hair stacker. Okay, tips first. I'm just gonna try to encourage all that in there. And then I'm gonna give it a few wraps on the table. And that's just gonna align the tips. Now when I go to pull this off, I want the base of the hair stacker pointed back and down the fly. When I pull this out, my tips should be nice and stacked, just like that. I'm gonna come in here and grab them with a pinch of my fingers. Now I do need to change hands because I need to make a measurement, and then I'm gonna change them back into my other hand again. So as carefully as you can, trying to keep those tips aligned and not lose too much hair. I'm gonna work my fingers back down towards the base of the hair, and I'm gonna make a measurement. Now I want this to sit roughly with those tips at the back end of the foam. So from here, with this pinch, I'm now gonna switch hands and keep my fingers right where I had my other pinch. Now I'm gonna leave myself a little bit of room to tie in, not much, like maybe a couple of centimeters, quarter of an inch, whatever. And I'm gonna make a cut with my scissors. So now I'm left with a straight edge. And this is called the Kelly Gallup method of tying in hair. We're gonna do it in two wraps of our thread, okay? So first wrap is gonna be a gathering looser wrap up over the hair. I'm gonna start to pull some tension. You can see it grab the butt ends there. Now I take a second one and I pull hard. It's gonna flare that hair, but it's gonna lock in those tips, and I'm gonna get all the use of this and not have to trim the hair after, which is a nice bonus. I'm gonna take a couple more wraps down through the butt ends, and I can let go. Now right now, this hair is gonna stand straight vertical because there's nothing holding it back, but soon, next step, we're gonna build the head of this fly, which is gonna actually force that hair back and down the fly. Now from here, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and fold that foam back, and I'm gonna kind of try to do it all at once here, but you're gonna try to fold it back, keep my fingers braced on either side to keep that hair kind of locked in. And now you can see I've exposed where I left that space. Now I gotta pull that foam forward so that the tip of the head sits roughly right at the eye of the hook. So I'm gonna keep pushing it forward until it's right about there, okay? Roughly somewhere in there. It's gonna mess up a few of the hairs that are stragglers. That's okay, we'll fix that in a moment. But I'm keeping these fingers pinched on here, and now I'm gonna come up over top, and I'm gonna make a thread wrap and start to pull some tension. I can let go with these other fingers now and make sure this is nice and centered on top of itself, and start to take a few more thread wraps and pull tight. Now, if you've got too much hair in here, what's gonna happen is it's gonna squeeze out the sides just like mine did. You can see it kind of all over the place. We got an SOS.
Oh, tight. Josh has 3 fingers glued to a fly. Does the paramedic have any hints?
The faster you rip it, the faster it comes off.
Stick you and your fly. Actually, there is a good trick I learned back in Nam. Stick your toes in gasoline, and eventually it gets into your system, and then it will release out your pores, and the glue won't stick anymore.
Eventually. How long does Josh have?
Well, he didn't ask that. He just needed some hints.
Yeah.
I don't know. Josh, you back, your flies, your ties, your fingers. Where are you at?
Where are you at?
The spear's not getting better?
No.
It just stayed dry and That was getting better.
I know, and they had the audacity to say to mix that with something. Right?
Mix it with your mouth.
No. Okay, guys. Well, Josh, hopefully you got your fingers unstuck, but we're almost there. We pretty much finished this. We got some legs to add and a little bit of trimming. So you definitely want to make sure that that head is good and secure. So if you got to take a few more wraps here before we fix that hair that we've all messed up, you're just going to take a few more wraps, make sure it's good and tight. Now let's trim this foam, and it's going to help things right away here. So I'm going to lift up the foam, slide my scissors underneath it, but on top of the hair. And I want my cut to be so that
Here,
it's
just
shorter.
hold tight. He's really stuck. And he likes to tie
Excuse
the
me.
flies.
No worries, Josh. No
So
worries.
We can do something else for a second. What can we do? We always got so much to do here. We can do something like...
Yeah. Get all those fancy buttons over there. Oh.
We can do a race. We could do a race while Josh is getting his fingers unstuck with a major SOS, the biggest SOS of the entire season. Folks, you got to pick your favorite trout, and the Burke trout is gone. So you quickly hurry and put in the comments, unless your fly and your fingers are stuck together, then, well, Josh won't be picking his favorite trout here. So
I think you just want to win one of these eventually.
well, I do, but I know Josh really ties the flies and during the show, so I do appreciate that.
Yes,
and
we do.
one more. Here we go. I'm gonna go with the rainbow.
Rainbow. Oh, I got to stick with my lake trout.
Were you 0 for 4 again?
I'm 0 for 4 today.
All right.
first
Well,
time in a
rainbow
while.
trout. Here I go.
Let's see it. is
Bing
not a
bong.
good start.
Oh, so remember we kicked the Burke trout out of the race because, well,
Oh, maybe it got a chance here.
Burke trout was. What did I pick? The rainbow again?
Rainbow, yeah.
All right, the brown rainbow. Favorite kind of rainbows. Here we go, folks. Get in the race. The fifth race of the night because
every time it's so predictable.
look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
You actually won one.
Hell
Look at
yeah,
him go.
Josh. Me and Josh, we worked together
worked this out,
to
yeah, I can
make
tell.
this happen. And I want to thank all my family and everybody who helped me get to this point, especially my friend Josh Darchuk. And most likely I want to thank our sponsors of the glue who got his finger stuck to the fly,
Look at that go.
who allowed me to play
Very
another
nice.
day. All right, Josh.
All right, Josh. We're gonna keep rolling. If you need us to
Fingers
stop,
stuck, you're not.
you let us know.
Oh, yeah.
So let's cut this head. We want the front portion of the head to be larger than the portion we cut back here. So when I lay my scissors on top of that hair and under the foam, I just want the piece that's left to be a little smaller than the head. And I snip, just like that, okay? Now, all that hair is probably funky and all over the place. If there's pieces that are down below and aren't recoverable, but if they are, I just want you to lift up on them and kind of pull them so they join back underneath the foam, because that foam is gonna hold them back and down the fly. And it's okay if it splays a little bit, but if you got a couple like me that just really went on an adventure, you just go ahead and snip those out and get them out of the way. That's pretty much all the stragglers, just like that. And this is what we should be left with at this point. Again, make sure that head is good and secure, and then all we gotta do is add our legs and we're gonna be done. So, in your kit, you've got legs that look like this. They're all kind of pinned together, hair everywhere. What I want you to do is divide off 2 at a time, stuck together, okay? So that's 2 portioned out. Go ahead and just rip those off the strip. I want you to do that twice because we're gonna need 2 of them. And what we're gonna do with those is we are gonna knot these legs like we've done in the last few weeks. Once I know Aaron did while I was gone, and we've done it before. But I want you to try to think of coming down this full length of the rubber leg, and about 1/3 of the way down, somewhere in here is where your knot's gonna be. And it's just a simple overhand granny knot. We're just gonna come in here, wrap it around, pull it through, and pull down that knot. Reason we want it to be back here is this piece doesn't need to be as long, and we're gonna use this full portion. It forms both the back leg and the front legs. So I've done that to one. We can set that aside. Let's grab our next one. Let's try to knot it in pretty much the same place. Wrap it around and under. Little granny knot. Same deal, okay? Now this creates a really nice leg because it's gonna be tipped down, or that's the plan anyways. Hopefully it does that. And then we're gonna separate the legs in the back and the front. But this makes a really nice hopper leg. And this is why this one's so simple, this fly, because we're gonna do it all in one shot. We're gonna get all of our legs in at once. So I'm gonna tie the legs in at the same tie-in point, and I want it to be pretty much centered on the foam. I'll do your side first. And I want that knuckle to be somewhere in that last segment, about halfway down that last segment or near the end of the fly, somewhere in there, the bend of the hook. You don't want it to be out behind the back of the fly, just somewhere near the back. I'm gonna lay that there, keep tension on it, bring my thread up and around. I'm gonna do a couple of wraps to secure it. Now I can see that it's a little bit high up there, so I'm gonna pull it down just a smidge so it's kind of locked in the middle of that foam. And then all I gotta do is repeat the process on the near side of the fly to me. So I'm gonna grab my other one here, do the same thing, and you wanna tie it in so it's oriented where that back knuckle is pointed down. I'm gonna pull this one back so I can match the same length. That looks good. And I'll do the same thing on this side, tie it in right in the middle, and get some thread tension, pull that tight. Okay, just like that. I created another couple hair stragglers, so we're gonna get rid of those. Just like so. Okay, so this is what we're left with right now. Now let's go ahead and whip finish this fly right in the position it's in, and then we can trim up our legs and separate them, and we're done our second fly of the night. I'm gonna come in here, do a 2 or 3 turn whip finish. We are gonna put resin over that connection point, so I'm not gonna do more than that. As long as I got a good knot in there holding everything together. Now, before I go to work on the legs, I'm gonna flip this upside down, and I'm gonna put just a little touch of Zap-A-Gap right on that main connection point where all of that stuff got tied in. Do your best, Josh, to keep your fingers out of it.
They're free now, he said.
Super glue is the worst because it just absolutely binds to you instantly. It seems to like human fingers more than just about anything else. Okay, and we're so close to being done, guys. So let's come in here. You can use a couple of tools I like to separate legs. One is actually my whip finish tool. It's a really nice sharp knot or sharp point. So you want to come in here and just poke it in between the 2 sets of legs and just pull down till they separate. And then I'm just gonna tug on them till they separate right back to the body. And those front ones, we are gonna trim to length, but all we're gonna do is separate them like that. Let's do it on the other side of the fly. I come in here, make sure I get it good and separated. This can be a little bit of a process sometimes, but once you get them started, they're normally pretty easy. Now, when we do the back ones, we don't wanna separate up here on the thigh portion of the leg. We wanna just do the lower leg is what we're gonna separate. So I'm gonna do it on both sides here, and we're actually gonna trim one of those out. So this kind of represents the thick upper portion of the hopper's leg, and then the thinner portion at the bottom of their leg, because they do have like a thicker top portion to their leg. So I've split them all. And now which one do you cut? Well, I just look at which one looks better. So if one is pointed down at a better angle, that's the one I'm gonna cut out. Or sorry, the one that's down is the one I'm not gonna cut out. I wanna keep the one that looks like it's pointed down the best. And in this one, it happened to be the front on both sides. Now I am gonna go back to my Zap-A-Gap, and I'm just gonna take a little touch of it on both of those knuckles, because that is gonna help that knot in the legs from coming out. It doesn't have to be a lot of glue here, just enough to coat it a little bit. And that'll keep those legs from separating. Now all I gotta do is cut to length, and I am good to go. So on the front legs for length, if I take them back, I want them to be just shorter than the back of the body. So these ones are pretty close. Oh geez, throwing scissors. So I'm gonna trim these back ones to where I want them. And then all I'm gonna do is pair them up with the front ones at the front and trim them to length. So I got my front ones to length done. Now the back ones, what I like to say here is I want the distance on the lower portion of the leg to be less than the thigh portion by a little bit. And these ones actually are already kind of that way, but I'm gonna take a little bit more off them. Just try to match up the front and the back one so they look similar. It's gonna look something like that when you're done. We've already got our glue in. Everything's looking good. The wing from underneath looks really spectacular. As you can see, if you changed your thread color, it's really gonna change a lot about how this pattern looks. So if you were to go yellow on the bottom with brown thread. It would also make it look super good. But that is, guys, the Mr. Peanut hopper. Very simple hopper. Floats well, lots of foam. And I think you're going to find it to be very effective. Hopefully you got through that there, Josh. And that'll be our last hopper of the year.
Besides the top shelf hopper. That's okay.
Wow, is it a
Almost.
hopper? Like a hippie stomper.
It's like a hippie stomper, like in a tractor pattern.
Tractor pattern. Last true hopper.
Oh, last true hopper. Except for the top shelf hopper.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. We have to get some
Not K-pop. 10 minutes away.
I know. We're still flying. Oh yeah, we gotta play FLYINGO.
Yeah, we do.
Well, here we go. Bing, bang, boom. Tim, why don't you show the good people at home, everybody who's still here. Oh, the population count is growing because everybody knows it's time for the last FLYINGO of the season. And we're going to call sequence number 11 because that simply means episode 11. And I'm just going to ram 4 of these calls right off the bat. And so you guys can start ticking your boxes. As Timothy shares with you.
Am I on over here? I can't tell. How about now? Oh, there we are. Okay. All right, folks. Well, we've got...
You might not be on, but looking
I'm
at
on.
you, Bryce, I'm on.
Okay. No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
And thanks for asking. Pull over.
Oh, yeah, it's a pullover. So we've got a sun shirt from us here at Fly Fishing Bover
That
Outfitters.
is a Kate Bessler artistic special.
This is a great one.
One of the last ones left.
It's a beetle. That's a really good one. Okay, we got that sun shirt. We've got a hat here from our friends at Fishpond. We also have from them and us a little combo. We've got a half a dozen articulated streamers, maybe one of our favorite streamers, in their puck. Maybe. The fly puck, which is awesome. We also have a sticker pack from us here at FFBR. So you got a whole bunch of stickers in here, a whole pack. But no, you don't have your legendary status sticker in there because you have to earn that one.
Yep.
We also have, because this is coming up in just over a week,
2 tickets to IF4 in Olds, Alberta, Canada, March 22nd. So if you're not local, well, I probably won't send them to you.
And last but not least, because you can either give it away to someone who doesn't have one, or if you already have one, but we are giving you.
Oh, darn. So
a season
basically
7
what
kit.
we have here is the fly fishing starter kit.
Yeah, it really
You got the
is.
shirt, the hat, the drink mugs, because
Oh, yeah. I forgot to show you
Forgot to
that.
show
From
you
Wolf
that.
Creek Angler, we got a mug and coasters, a
and
beer mug.
cozies inside. Yeah. So yeah, you could tie up your flies. You wear the shirt, you wear the hat. Throw some stickers on your fly box. You got a half dozen articulated streamers that guarantee work. And pretty much the Fly Fisherman starter pack. And that's how she works. Let us know tonight if you are the winner, because the doors of doom awaits. There's no Captain Clutch sitting in the helm. Nope, not at all.
Unless
it
you
is
have
just
one.
pure wizardry. Usually it takes about 6, 7, or 8 to win. And
So what do we do? Do we, because we can't pay this forward, do we just add it to the final episode?
I don't know what we're gonna do. Yeah,
Okay, just don't lose.
Just goes to the final episode.
Yeah,
I guess.
we'll put these prizes in the final episode.
Yeah, I guess that's how it goes. Didn't have an answer until we did, and then we did.
It's like we make things up on the go sometimes.
Never done that before. First time here tonight, folks.
First time.
Anyways, these prizes, if they're not won by you, they're going to go into the final episode, because remember, next week there is no FLYINGO. All right, if you get bingo, what do you do, Tim?
It's pretty simple. You just got to say what your card ID is and drop what call it's on, please, and say bingo at the same time. So it's bingo, call, and card ID. You get those three things.
Throw it all in the same line.
That would be a novelty thing.
Remember that time we did a blackout? Yeah, I thought about it tonight. Then I realized.
Nah, it's terrible.
All right, half pint Midge, the cinnamon toast ant, which we're going to tie next week. Next week,
next
the
week,
cinnamon
yep.
toast ant. The green bottle spider, the grumpy drumpy. Anyways, I don't even know what we're doing. I have my list right here.
We have no more hoppers left. Nothing.
Next week, we've got the Cinnamon Toast Ant and the Grumpy Frumpy Green Drake. And the final episode is the Green Bottle Spider, the Top Shelf Hopper. And I think Baldy Bob might be done after next week. You know?
No way. He can't.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know. You can pay to bring him back.
Oh, sponsor Baldy Bob.
Yeah, well, he does he does him. I just sends me videos. I play him. All right. Don't know where all the comments are. Well, there we go. Eli's bingo. Call 6 card 83, and that's as local as you get. Eli, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday
Yeah,
there.
happy
That's
belated.
super cool. So this is how we do it. We check it out. Call 6. He did it all right. So he gets bonus points
Not bad.
for that. So we go call 6, and then we enter his card number here. Something like this. Card number is 83. And then we go view card and...
Oh, it's call 7, not call 6.
Oh, okay. Give me 7. All right, so bingo card ID 83, call 7. Okay, sorry, there we go. I screwed that one up. Wait, Mikey Dumont got one too, guys. Write these down. We're gonna have.
Okay, where are we at?
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be one of these.
All right, so we got that for Eli. Mikey card number 22. It's weird he hasn't won this year, and he usually
know.
wins 10 times a year.
Where did you see his comment? I didn't even see it.
Yeah, right
oh, there.
there.
It is. Call 7, card 22.
Okay, so we got a winner there. We got we got a winner there. The only
right.
4 he got were all there. No Bob till the end. Well, that's Bob's choice. Let us know if there's any other bingos because we have a tiebreaker. We have a way to break the tie. You guys have all done it before. Heartbreak is what it is. Does either Mike or Eli have a Captain Clutch sticker?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, I can look it up, but I'd
Mike
rather
would be
them
smart
answer.
enough to know he needs one.
That's a good question, but sometimes he likes to play dangerously. He lives to live dangerously. Yes, Travis. Oh, I see how that works. But he won earlier. I think that one got passed along, and
yeah, that was last week.
I would prefer to see somebody go to the Wizard tonight.
I know.
That's what I want to do. So, anyways, we got just those two. We got no other comments coming in. Looks like we're about to close it down.
Neither of them have one.
And check it out, a tiebreaker. I don't have one. Oh,
neither of them do.
Good Lord, what a Captain Clutch sticker could have done for you. So, what do they call
22?
Card 22.
83, I think was the other one. 83 for Eli. 22. Well, let's randomizer and go.
Watch this trick.
All right, show me.
So 1083 and 1022. You guys following me here? Everybody see that? So the 1 is if they get called the 1 and their number, that is the Captain Clutch worthy one. That means they can use Travis's Captain Clutch. And if it just shows up their prime number without the number 1 there, does that sound fair, guys? You like how that goes?
I like the chances you're giving. You're being generous.
Yeah. So if they get if your number shows up as 83 or 22, but it has a 1 in front of it like this, then the 1 means you get the captain. Okay.
Yeah.
We're clear. Everybody's clear.
Let's do it.
The 1 means you won. That's why I did 1. It means you won.
Won.
Just made that up too. Jeremy Hunt, you can figure it out. You figured out a lot of things. You figured out how to row us down the river, catch some fish, sunburn your head. You also figured out what sunscreen value was the
halfway
next day.
through.
All right, here we go. I see no other winners and 1 in front of your number. Oh, this is intense. All right, here we go. It's big whammies. No whammies. All right, it's off. We're off.
Call.
122. And
Mikey
that's
Dumont.
Mikey Dumont.
Eli, that hurts. That would have been a nice Christmas gift. All right, Mike. You did it. Straight up, no more Captain Clutch this season.
No more Captain Clutch. No more Wizard.
No
We should play
wizardry.
Wizard on the final night.
Uh,
We'd be here till 5 a.m. There's no math, Dan. I did it all for you.
no math, Dan.
Anyways, what happens if we did it one more time? Well, we'll never know because that's cheating. That's rigging the system. Mikey, you can thank Mr. Travis Booth for giving you the captain clutch. And I think that's a fair way to do it. And a congratulatory
Yeah.
from Hillbilly. Sorry, Eli. Would have been
Bummer.
a great birthday present. But the
Mike was a nice guy.
The rules. Yeah, if Mike was a nice guy. Anyways, he's not. So we're going to carry on. Oh, something like.
Do we have some like baking in here? Oh, look at that. You gonna tell us what this is?
Trying to find some better music.
It's 9. You know what that means. Don't deny it. It's the best song you played tonight.
I was trying to find some. It's not quite. Oh, this might be it.
What, disco?
Anyways, if you've had enough of us, you can head home, but you don't want to leave because I believe. Because I believe.
Look at those things. I'm excited,
This isn't
Maggie.
this
I'm
isn't the
excited.
music I was looking for. Guys, Tim, tell a funny joke. I've got to find some.
You can't. I can't. I can't tell funny jokes. It's not my job.
Gotta find some like. That's one I just played.
Been there. Tried that. What are you looking for? Let me help you
Something
brainstorm.
good that makes me wanna. Just like. That's not.
That's
It's
not it.
like it makes you want to eat baking, right?
Something
maybe
French.
abstract. I think I'm onto it.
I feel like I need to race to the bakery.
Guys,
Oh,
girls,
man.
ladies and gentlemen, we're about to touch down our mouths, our palates, our tongues on a lemon cream filled brioche donut.
Oh. Let's do that thing.
This might get a little out of hand.
It's a little creamy. Oh.
Tim, present your donut hole.
Oh, that's a football.
All right.
It's a baseball is what that is.
All right, Tim. Open your
ready?
mouth and take that down.
I'm taking it. Oh, man. Maggie has spoiled us this year. Oh. How do you eat that with a beard?
There it is. Richard Simmons dancing in my forebrain. I can't explain a happier feeling in my mouth.
No, I can't either.
There's nothing on your
Where? Up or down?
mustache. There's
Up or
Bri-
down?
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah. No, I can taste it.
Bryce.
It's up.
Nope. I can see it,
Oh,
Bryce.
it's down too.
Oh. Okay. The dough.
Wow. Look at this.
The dough.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Oh, man.
Anyways, you guys could be enjoying this too if you were here on the couch. Tyler Hershey.
Did he bail
Because
again?
yeah, well, he's gonna come next week.
Oh, yeah.
But there's definitely. Oh, that's like you have to understand texture.
Well,
I
it's just
think
so
like
fluffy,
when you look up texture in the dictionary, it's right here.
Sure this?
And the hit of lemon.
Yeah. That's good.
See, this song is in my brain right now. Just like kids playing in a playground, like all the fun things in life are happening.
Oh man, that's good. I'm just thinking like cup of coffee on the boat in the morning, one of these. I've sprung a leak.
I don't know what this song is, but that's. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry we can't share, and I'm sorry we're rudely eating in front of all of our friends. I just wish you could enjoy like we did.
Oh man, that's good.
All right, guys. Let's go check out our wins. One more time, thank our sponsors. Let's head over to our wins. Maggie, well done. Where are the commercials?
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with.
Bing, bang, boom.
What is important now?
Well, that donut was important.
Pretty
now.
important, yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of the better donuts I've ever had in my life. No joke.
Something fun about donuts that are professionally done and not done in the bulk.
Done in the Tim Hortons way.
The things that you could put inside of those.
Yeah, like there's so many options. Just
My mind
the
is
base.
racing. All right, what's important now, folks? This is called The Wins. This is the end of the evening as we draw to a close, as we get 2 episodes closer to the end of season 7. All good things must come to an end, and it's always important for us to send you guys out to your week with a little bit of a wrap up. And probably one of my favorite parts of the show is where we just get to hang out, finish the night together. Some of you guys are out east and it's already 11 o'clock and you're sticking around because you know how important this is to just share.
Yeah.
What's important now. And sharing is super awesome because as you guys share and we share, and that's what we'll do. We'll read your guys' wins and it's just something to celebrate together. And kind of go into your week looking for something that you get to share with the group. And that's what I've had a lot of fun over the years doing these, is that I tend to spend my week reflecting on things saying, is this my win? Is this my win? Is this my win? Or pushing myself to go out and do something or be something for somebody to come back and report to the squad and say, here was my win. And it doesn't have to be the most monstrous thing on the planet. It's just something that's important to you now. And let's celebrate together. So,
Yeah.
Tim, you might as well start off as you always do.
All right. Well, win. I felt like this week kind of was full of them in a lot of ways. I'll try to narrow it down a bit, but this week started off, we had TNL last week, which was awesome. It was basically like back after awesome trip and getting to be with my friends. But a huge win for me was just the stars aligned and work didn't happen. And I was able on Friday to go fishing. Got to go fishing with Dana and Ted and Aaron and Brandon, and just like, I don't know what it is about home, but home is like this thing for me. And as much as I love to travel and adventure and do all these things, there's something about coming home. And I reflect on it a lot, but it was really strong in my mind this week and weekend when, coming home, a lot of people have the blues. And for me, it's not a thing. Truly, honestly, like I come home and got to get out on the river with the guys, and that day was awesome. And sure, it's cool to fish somewhere else in the world, but when you're just home on your water, you're home in your own bed, you're with your friends again, your family, and I don't have to have these things where I'm like not looking forward to something else. We have this, and we have things coming up, and it's guiding, and it's guide school, and it's like, it's exciting to come home. I don't know if you all feel that way, but for me, home is everything. I can still walk into my child, my house where my parents still live. I grew up there and it feels like home, so my win this week is home. I'm thankful to be home. Came back a little strong, maybe went a little too hard, got myself a little cold this weekend. But I'm grateful to be home. I'm grateful to be back at this. And you also have like my blues come when it's like, we say these things like, 2 more episodes, 3 more episodes. It just keeps going down. And it's like, that for me is a bit of a blue, but we also know that means we get to be on the water with you guys. So it's all a win. But yeah, this week for me, it's home.
Yeah, that's awesome. Simple, but yet profound. And it's good. I think the talking about the season winding down, and it just kind of feels cliche because it happens every year. It's just like I kind of feel anxious at the end of the season because it's like so much went into the season, and then you're sitting there wondering like, will next year happen? How will next year happen? What does next year look like? How do we keep going forward? Because like another cliche, but like the only thing we're guaranteed is right now and tonight. And just sometimes it's like, things can get overwhelming in doing the show, and it can feel kind of like hopeless at times. And I think that fear comes creeping up as the season ends. But I think that kind of parlays into kind of my win for the week. And I know it's been said so many times that the TNL fam, that you guys are the win. But you guys are a huge part of the win. And as we did our episode last Thursday with breast cancer awareness, it's not something we planned, in the schedule for the season. It's just one of those things that we, made up on the fly as we talked tonight, where my mom went in for her double mastectomy and she came on the show as a guest. And I just watching back on the show and just felt I got to like really take in all the comments. And I sat with her, a couple days later, and we just kind of watched through it. And it's just, for her, she said, wow, what a cool thing for me, a memory for life that I get to look back on and see me after this big surgery, this courageous moment in her life. It just kind of, as the last week went on, a lot of you guys reached out, and you didn't just reach out on Friday. You reached out on Saturday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday whether it was a text message or a Facebook message or a phone call. And you guys know who you are. You just really checked in, and I just thought that was really cool. And the other part of that win was I just, it's hard to like take time off, or not take time off, but it's hard to just not be sitting here focused on like, trying to do something, be more, be better at the computers and with TNL and with the guiding service. But I just got to spend the week at my mom's house, and I didn't have this stuff there, so I couldn't do it. So it felt a little bit like handcuffed in the beginning on the first couple of days, but then I just realized that it was just kind of like, this whisper, just kind of be still. There's a Bible scripture that talks about that, and I just got to be, full circle to what I talked about in the beginning. But it's like the only thing we're guaranteed is now, and I got to be in the moment and just be in that presence. I got to slow down, take a rest, just hang out with my mom, hear her out, see her go through her day of feeling great, feeling a little tired, just her navigating her situation. And just such a good week. It might seem weird to some people when they reached out, and I just said I just feel so blessed, because I am blessed. I'm blessed that my mom is where she is with her surgery. I'm blessed that they found it early, and I am blessed that I have friends like you guys who care and reach out. And there's people that don't have this. There's people that don't have friends, and they don't have people checking in on them, and it breaks my heart for them. So thank you guys for last week, for the whole week leading up to this, and just being a big part of life outside of this and fly tying.
Yeah, that's extremely profound as well.
And fishing on Friday, it all started off with that.
Yeah.
I
think it was good for you just to see mom,
Yeah, that was
that helped.
Friday morning. That was a big, anxious moment of just like, we saw you stoned on the show, but
what are you going to be like tomorrow?
Yeah,
and all she was
just-
worried about was making us breakfast.
yeah, I know. Have you eaten? Did you get Starbucks? You got this, you got that. So you can't turn the mom mode off. And just grateful. And, Dean and Kat and Dean, we're just thinking about the situation that you're going through, and the message that Kat sent on Friday, which I haven't showed you yet. That's the TNL fam.
Yeah.
She had to let someone know this wasn't my real hair, but hey, it's fine. You can kill my secrets. So
Yeah.
anyways, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. And now let's celebrate your wins for the evening. Okay, we'll start with Travis here. We just throw them up on the screen. We read them and back and forth. So Travis had a 16-hour workday and was bummed that I was going to miss the show. Got lucky and I was able to see the last half. Made my day. TNL fam, thank you. Super awesome. We're always glad when people just even check in for like Gary did tonight too.
Yeah. Mr. Struthers, win this week. I needed a good laugh. Thanks, fam.
Nice. Mr. Pape, my win is my 90-year-old mom had a medical emergency last week, but she's on the mend. Every day with her is so precious, and I get to have more. Exactly what I just said.
Yeah. Mr. Lorenz, thanks for the fun times. You guys rock. Win for the week is headed out to Moab, Utah tomorrow for our yearly family camping trip.
Nice.
That sounds awesome.
Nice. Hillbilly. Well, Eli's win was not FLYINGO, but Hillbilly got to spend time on the ice with his wife, caught some nice fish, and it was super beautiful. And as always, Thursday nights with the crew, OQP, LPCF. Awesome.
Cam, win for this past week. I started the 2025 crap show season with a March float with fly trout, caught a whistle dog, but super happy to get out, not get skunked, and have an epic day, which was much needed. Happy to be back online and joining in all the tomfoolery again. Love you all.
We must have got all the whitefish on Friday.
We must have hooked them all.
Nice. Cole's big win is Johnny Bojangles' first birthday. And I got to celebrate it with my wife's birthday tomorrow. What a wild year watching JB grow.
Oh, it's so wild. How is he a year
Cole,
old already?
Fasten your seatbelt.
Yeah. Mr. Dumont, my win was finishing the ice fishing season with a great trip. Got to hang out with some great friends, test out overnighting in the new fishing tent, caught my first lake trout, and had some good laughs. All the pictures, buddy.
The pics looked
That's
awesome. Yeah. I think it was Brendan and Bags. Augustin went for the week as my Canadian friends. Love people catch fish. Been don't for several weeks, and fishing season is lining up here in Middle Tennessee. Hopefully getting some trips booked soon. Love you all. Be blessed. And we love our American friends too.
Yes, we do. Adrian, my win. Winding down for the 12th hockey season at the rink. Great group to work with. Happy, healthy family with all the challenges that come with that. Good challenges. My dad lost 2 special people to him, but he's a rock and still coming over to play with the grandkids. I get to see him forget about the sadness of life. Fills my cup. Rambles on. OQP LPCF.
Where are we at? Mr. Beatty. My winner's having a dad-daughter date tomorrow night with my middle daughter. Going to see the Raleigh Symphony perform the music of Queen. That's good. I'm so jealous.
That'd be awesome.
Celebrating St. Patrick's Day on Sunday with my youngest as she performs with her dance group at a local pub. Both my heart and my calendar are full. That's
like it.
the stuff to share.
And Jerry Dickow, my win being asked to officiate the U15 provincial tournament next weekend in Three Hills and still get to make it to I-4.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't miss that.
That's good. Tyler Hershey, my win is just being here and being a part of this. And he's going to be a coach creature next Thursday.
Nice.
I hope you guys know how incredibly special this is. That means a lot, actually.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. McKenna.
Mr. McKenna, being a rough couple years, Thursday nights are always a great way to get away with quality people and connections.
Amen to that.
Well said.
Mr. Jones, watching my oldest crush it at provincials last weekend, earning a spot at the provincial championships. Super proud as both kids head off to the Alberta Swimming Championships this coming weekend in Edmonton. Glad your mom's doing well, Dana. Yeah.
Jeremy's win will be 80s fluorescent surfer zinc for my nose.
Well, let's say Jeremy took guide school a few years ago, and he might have missed out on the sunscreen in May.
Yeah. Got it.
Trevor, my win is getting to see my nephews tomorrow. It's good stuff. Things to look forward to.
Yeah.
Travis, that's out for Scott, I think. If you come through Montrose, Colorado, to go to Moab, stop and say hi. Do that, guys. Connect with each other. We do it up here. But just because we're local from the area doesn't mean you guys can't. And I would love to see more of that.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Phil, taking my 7-year-old grandson fly fishing tomorrow. I've been showing him how to cast and tie knots. He loves it.
Nice.
That's great, man.
I showed Ken how to cast and tie knots, like while he casted.
How not to tie knots.
Tie wind knots. Kenny, win for the week. Just got to tuck into bed, and my win is I think you missed a word, but anyway, someone's tucked into bed, and my win is he's young enough to let me do that. Times go by way too fast. Take the time to hug the ones you love and let them know. And I can't wait to see you all next weekend at IF4. Love you all. Have a great night and a great weekend. Tuck my son. There it is. Love you too, buddy.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we struggled with UV on the Morris Boatman.
Well,
We cruised through the Mr. Peanut hopper, and some of us got our fingers stuck
to some glue.
to the fly. And the journey, the adventure, as which is such.
Fly tying does not come without risk.
We had average beers tonight, average below.
We had above average
We had
moonshine.
above 10 out of 10 moonshine. And also the donuts, the lemon cream brioche donuts. If you haven't got your pre-orders, guys, you just trust me. The gateway drug is
right
your
drug.
first piece of baking from Black Steak Bakery. So you can do that. You can do that before Saturday. The QR code is on the screen before this, so you can go over and find that, or look up Black Steak Bakery on Instagram. Oh, how did the FLYINGO go? Well, we had a couple winners and we had a tiebreaker, and it looks like Mikey Dumont beat Eli.
He did.
Just because of the randomness. But because Travis Booth is such a good guy, he passed along a Captain Clutch sticker. And Mikey won. He didn't have to go to the doors. Nobody. So what I have been doing on the doors is adding really great prizes like free fishing trips and
So really
cash.
you're missing out. Like you want to go.
Well, the wizard wants you to come visit, so he tantalizes you with awesome stuff like that. Brendan's win.
My win is having great people in my life and that the house is healthy. My cup is full from this year.
Beautiful. And we found each other.
We did.
Novland, early season floats with the FFBR family. Banff Day with Kate just escaping Calgary for the day and indulging in the mountains and the candy store. And of course, a weekly chat. Dana talking about stuff that crosses our mind. That's the good stuff. Yeah.
Best stuff.
All right, folks. We only went 25, not 45. And it is K-pop. How did I miss that?
That's all right.
I was way off.
Music was a struggle tonight.
Yeah. What? That's bogus. We had Christmas tunes.
We had great Christmas tunes.
Guys, make sure you check out the website right now, TNL/ flyfishingbover.com/TNLS7. You know, where you get your FLYINGO, your bingo, and all your other things. You can now get your $10,000 donation giveaway tickets to win it. So as we get the prizes in, we'll update them there. Some of them, all of them. But you don't know because you just got to give back to get back.
Yeah. Well said.
That's kind of how it is.
That's how it is.
All right. Well
said. Like you said, all good things.
All good things come to an end, and we must close the curtains on Forever Be Gone, episode 11.
Yeah.
Bing, bang, bong, bing, bong.
Boom.
Man, that donut is still lingering in my foot. And I know the people have been poking their head into the studio here.
They've been looking for
They've
them.
been wanting their own. They've been wanting their own.
Won't last long.
Won't last long. All right, folks.
All right. Till next week.
I'm Dana. I almost said I was Tim.
Well, I'm Tim, and you're Dana.
We're the two best friends that you ever did see.
That ever were, that ever will
We
be.
had a crazy idea about doing this, tying flies, streaming. And then we ended up having to do it together because COVID kicked us out of the brewery. And here we are, wearing costumes, doing weird things, but hopefully bringing a little bit of ray of sunshine into your house, barn, cabin, whatever you're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
Sincerely grateful. And 2 more left.
2 more. A few more flies. It's almost done.
Until we meet again next Thursday night. Please come to IF4. I want to see you badly.
It's true.
Just like a wolf pack of 2.
Wolf pack
the best
of 2.
wolf packs ever.
Yeah.